You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat, the pulse of Americana, with your beautiful bearded host, Zach Walker, Alabama's best known. If that don't fire you up, your wood's wet. Now, it's time for your bearded host, Zach Walker.
Good morning. Welcome in. Boomer the Beard. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful bearded host. So glad you've joined us here on this fine Monday morning. We're so thankful that you choose to be here with us each and every single day. What a weekend. You played that guitar on MTV. Pretty good impersonation for this myself. We are, man, I'll tell you what, I had a weekend. My back locked up and I couldn't stand up all weekend. So that was pretty cool. Going to see Dr. Lang first thing this morning. He would have seen me over the weekend if he would have been in town. That's the beauty of Dr. Lang. I literally sent him a text. I said, hey man, my back is locked up. Any chance you're around? And he said, man, he apologized to me like 14 times. I'm like, bro, it's the weekend. Like, it is the weekend. You should not apologize to me for not being able to see me on a Sunday afternoon. But I do appreciate the sentiment. So I will go see him this morning. But literally, I could not see, or I could see, wow, and I was blind apparently. Could not stand up all weekend. It was pretty rough. And so, you know, there is some upside to that. I did get to spend a lot of time. I mean, it was a very rest-filled sit on the couch, actually in my recliner. I have a, oh, did you see that by the way? Sorry. ADD got me. I have a yard sale recliner, which is probably one of the weirdest things that we own, but I did buy a really nice recliner at a yard sale for like $10, and it is the best. It's the most comfortable chair in our house, and so I sat in it with a heat pad on it all weekend, which leads me into another problem that we'll discuss. I don't know how the heat pad mixed with the testosterone pellets, because we had a bit of an issue there. And so we'll have to work our way through some of those challenges this morning. But let's go ahead. I mean, you can't play the game without the team. You can't, you can't get the team on the field without the introductions. Let's go ahead and get everybody in the game. The best exported product from Shelbyville, Kentucky, since Colonel Sanders still watches VHS tapes at home with his family, tries to impress his wife with the Freak Daddy mixtapes from the late 80s and the early 90s. Just old enough to know what it means to shake it like a Polaroid picture. The godfather of old souls. My favorite, relatively large, bald-headed man. Boomer, how are you, buddy?
Good, how are you?
You like relative?
Relative, yeah.
It's relative to who you know what I'm saying? Like, I am relatively large in comparison to an elephant. You are relatively large in comparison to who you used to be.
Right.
So it's all about relativity.
That's it.
Did you see Tom Brady try to high-five that ref?
I did.
He said, no, sir.
Yeah. It
was like this right here.
New Orleans doesn't like him. They don't like him at all. Are you trying to get a high five from me?
No, I want you to not give me a high five because Tom Brady stood there for a long time.
My hands are in my pockets.
Shut up. He stood there longer than he should have. Like, he's still –
yeah.
And he's like, okay, I guess I'm not going to get one. He's like, I'm the GOAT. But the GOAT, is not going to get one. Look at him, though, after the game. Hugging it out. Much love. Dap it up. Look, Tom Brady's throwing passes to – oh, no, that's pretty freaking cool right there.
To Breeze's kids.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
He's like, I'm better than your dad.
I don't know about that. Do you think that's the case, though?
No, I mean, they're both incredible in their two unique ways. I mean, you know, Brady's been the guy that's made it to all the playoffs. I think it's his 14th.
Brady has the more accomplished resume.
Yeah, and Breeze has the stats, like unbelievable stats. So.
I think Drew Brees is a better man than Tom Brady.
I could say that, yeah.
Tom Brady wears Uggs. Okay. In and of itself, disqualifies him from being someone who I would look up to.
But there's all kinds of people posting already this morning and late last night, you know, because that's what people do, the fear of missing out, where, you know.
FOMO.
They have to call it first, saying that Breeze this will be his last year. And they took pictures, you know, of him looking back over his shoulder at the clock. Like, you know, he's like, look, we just ended a game. Can I take the summer and kind of figure things out and do that? So who knows if he'll retire. But I had
what I heard? I got an insider in the National Guard. He said.
Oh, gosh, that's another one. As if we don't vet them before they join the National Guard.
To be clear, they don't.
They don't at all?
I mean,
you got to have some vetting.
I mean,
You can't just show up and go, I'm in. Okay, cool.
I mean, it's not that much harder than that, if we're being honest. Out of everyone sitting here, the only one to do it, this guy.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, little.
So you said they missed you? Is that what you're saying?
No. I mean, I had nothing. I mean, I had a couple of rests, but nothing. Yeah. In fact, I guess I should go ahead and tell the story. When I went to,
let's catch everybody up for just to throw you in there.
Don't let me forget.
They're worried about what's going to go on at the inauguration. They've brought in 25,000 National Guard, and now the FBI is said to vet because they feel like there's an insider that's going to cause something.
So now they feel. So what you're saying is they feel like there is an insider. The Biden team feels like the National Guard has a traitor in their midst.
Yeah. So
who's conspiracy
how about
crazy now?
How about just don't have it? Just put it on TV.
Well, how about we just don't transition power at all and just let Trump stay for 4 more years? I think that wouldn't be a problem at all.
Mercy.
Sandee Lou, how are you?
I'm doing good, and I agree with you. Just let Trump remain.
Do you think that'll? You think that's? Do you think that's how this thing will go down? Just let Trump stay.
I think that there's a different reason for the military to be there, and I know that you already thought that. I think. Okay.
No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at you. Should have seen Connor's face when
you
said
Connor
that.
had a lot on his face. Yeah.
All right, so let's stop. Let's stop this whole train for a moment. We're gonna pull the brake. We're gonna walk down this path with Sandee Lou Who.
No, you're not. I'm not gonna go down this path with you.
I just want to know why you think the military's there.
I think it's because it's a distraction because Nicolas Cage is going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
There you go. That's exactly what
Sandee,
it is.
Why do you think
have it all in your mind? That's right.
Why do you think the military's going to be there? I'm serious. I mean, I want to know what's going on out there in the world of the internet. I don't have a clue.
Why do you make fun of me?
I'm not Sandee. I'm not making fun of you. We're talking about this is your spot of the show. I mean, this is where Sandee shines right here. This is your moment in the sun.
I think that Trump has been working on this for a very long time. I really do. I think that he has been putting pieces in place. There's been a lot that has come out that, of course, our regular media does not talk about, and it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next couple of days. That's all I have to say. Honestly, it's going to be very interesting. You just can't watch, Fox News or CNN.
No,
you
can't watch any of those
those
idiots
stations
anymore.
No.
But answer me this, though, because I'm trying to figure out what the end game is. So let's walk down that path for a minute. What are the alternate reasons for the military's presence? I mean, in a hypothetical world.
Because the military is going to actually take control of government.
Oh. I mean, so that's what you think's going. Is that what you're Is that what your thought process? Like, that's what you think's going to happen?
Yes. And do you know that Tom Lindell was
Mike Lindell?
I'm sorry, Mike Lindell.
Tom's his brother.
Sorry, I'm getting. Tom's his brother. He was seen going to visit Trump over the weekend.
Yeah, so he's been up there
with important documents.
Wrapped in a Giza sheet.
Exactly. Yes.
Inside a pillowcase.
Delivered in a pillow.
I think now would be a good time to bring producer Connor in. Producer Connor.
Good morning.
Good morning, Connor.
I'm sorry. Let me catch my breath. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing all right.
Did you have a hot date this weekend?
No. So I think relatively, wouldn't you use that to mean in comparison to?
Yes. As relative to. Yes.
Yeah, but you said compared to you, he is relatively large.
No.
That's what you said.
No. I said I'm relatively large compared to an elephant. He's relatively large.
You're relatively small compared to an elephant.
Connor, humor is tough for you to get at times, and I get that because you're a very literal person and you're very black and white. The whole point of that is saying I'm almost as big as an elephant. Right, that's the joke in it. Is you're being self-deprecating.
But even if you're almost as big, that still wouldn't be relatively.
yes, it is.
You notice that he's changed the subject from
No,
the
he
date
has.
night.
He has. He's changed the subject. He's changed the subject twice, really, because we had two things to catch up on. One, I needed to understand why he made that crazy face earlier when you said that the military was there for different reasons. And two, I wanted to know if he had a hot date. We don't even have time to go down the hot date path right now. I just need a yes or no on that, and then we're going to check off to another. We're going to go Omaha, and go to another play.
Okay, no.
No hot date. Okay, we're checking off Omaha. So back to the military.
I think you're just reading Connor wrong, because I think what he does, once he gets hit, and if something hits him wrong, he digs his heels in. So he was hanging on the fact that he felt like you had messed up some grammar going on here. And
Yeah. No,
so he just stayed there. He
you
probably missed
remember
a
the
lot
whole
of Sandees.
You remember the whole thing about how Connor's been here from day one?
Yes.
Yeah, Connor and I, we this is discourse that we
Oh,
have. Yeah, I remember the first
Inside
time,
job.
dude. The
Banter.
first time when we started when I made he was very uncomfortable with the mic in his face early on, and so I put a producer cam right over there, and I made him go to himself, and then over time we worked it in. Now I can't get him to shut up. Funny how that works, isn't it? No, I'm just kidding. The number one thing I get from people outside of the show is more Connor, please.
Guess I'm relatively well liked.
Yeah, you are relatively well liked relative to Joe Biden. No, I'm kidding. Absolutely kidding. Because I mean, look, 80-something million people voted for him. He's the most voted for president in human history.
Right.
Obviously, he's pretty well
Yeah.
liked. This is Boomer and the Beard. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
As you know, our friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of their life. He didn't stop at the MyPillow. Let me tell you something. I just got my Giza Dream bed sheets, and they are unbelievable. Mike found this cotton called Giza cotton. It's incredibly soft, super breathable, extremely durable, 60-day money back. That same money back guarantee, that same 10-year warranty that you have on that MyPillow you love so much. The first night you sleep on the Giza sheets, you will never want anything else. Let me tell you something. My son, he's 4. He knows the difference. He knows the difference. He said, Daddy, where are those soft sheets that Mr. Mikey sent me? I said, don't worry, kid, I got you. Pulled them out of the dryer, put them on there. Listen, you right now have a special offer. You will receive 2 for 1 low price and free shipping on the Giza Dream Sheets if you call 1-800-889-7318 or go to mypillow.com/radio specials. Use the promo code BEARD. Again, mypillow.com, radio specials, promo code BEARD.
You don't need a diet. That's work. You don't need a stylist. They're overrated. And you don't need to hang out with older or fatter people just to seem better in comparison either. All you need are these masters of video production. They'll make you look good.
Make your videos look good with Cotton Row Productions, the official live stream provider of Hometown Heartbeat and The Dale Jackson Show. We can handle events, church live streams, and your digital advertising. Call Cotton Row Productions today, 256-289-7355. That's 289-7355.
4.
Dan, where you been?
Well, it's hard to golf with bulky oxygen tanks, so I went to AeroCare and got a lightweight portable oxygen concentrator that I wear like a backpack.
Wow. Does insurance cover it?
They sure do. AeroCare called my insurance, and I had my machine the next day. I'm as free as a bird, or birdie.
AeroCare specializes in all respiratory equipment. If you have sleep apnea or are in need of oxygen, let AeroCare set you up. Call 256-469-3900. Let us help you breathe a little easier.
Where Alabama talks. WVNN. Depend on it.
Welcome back. We've got our tinfoil hats on, and we are ready for the second segment of what's going to happen on Wednesday or what? Wait, what day is? It's a long way away still, isn't it? No, 2 days away. Wednesday. I got it right the first time. Oh, man. So Sandee's position is that the military is in D.C. not for the reasons that you would think, but instead to take control of the government by force if necessary. So I'm trying to wrap my mind around, let's flesh that out a little bit more. And Sandee, no one's making fun of you. I'm just trying to understand what the end game would be here. Look, I like to be apprised of all potential situations. I just like to be aware. You know what I'm saying? And if Sandee's got an insight or something that I don't, then it would only be smart to make sure we fully understand what could happen. Don't you think, Boom?
You got this. Go ahead.
Oh, you gonna put me on the cold here? You gonna put me on the cold here?
Ask Connor.
Hold on a minute. You weren't so quiet in the break. You had a lot to say in the break.
I
Boomer.
didn't have a lot.
Oh
say.
My goodness!
I don't know if I have a lot to say.
If only. These
I just said that was a new
walls
one. I hadn't heard that one. But hey, here's the thing. I will say this: if you would have said that there was going to be a Trump rally and people were going to break into the Capitol a month ago, we probably would have had the same reaction.
No, I don't think that's even close to comparable.
I never would have dreamed in my lifetime that we would have seen people breaking into a Capitol building.
I never would have thought in my lifetime that we'd have watched 18 different cities burn to the ground over the summer either.
True. And I think that's the same thing. I think
we're
living in this world.
And look, I'm not saying it's not possible, but what Sandee's talking about is essentially a coup, right? Now, the difference in what she's talking about in like a Venezuelan or a Nicaraguan or because that's where you hear a lot of the coups coming from is the Central American and South American countries.
I like that word, coup.
Yeah, coup.
No, that's not where I was going.
Well, I don't understand why it's spelled COUP though. Like it's not a coup. It's a coup. Yeah. Anyways, you're talking
silent
about
letters confuse you.
Like what? Yeah, they do.
That's so dumb.
So, but what you're talking about here, Sandee Lou, once that bullet's fired, you can't put it back in the gun. I mean, that's a whole different.
Yeah,
that's a whole different aminal, and so and it would require. Where I think it's unlikely is not in what I mean. I served in the military under Barack Obama, and so I know what the military sentiment was at that time. I know how guys. Hey, I bet they won't come and get our guns. We'll go stop them. I guarantee you. That whole thing. So I'm not saying that the military, probably as a whole, or at least large portions of, doesn't feel like they wish they could stop what's about to happen. Because I think the overwhelming sentiment is that the election was stolen. But what you're talking about is treason and sedition at the highest levels without ironclad it would have to be clearly demonstrated to the American people why it was happening before it was allowed to happen, or else.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be told to anybody. Like if it is within the government, they have a very clear right to keep it to themselves, especially if there is treason involved, if there is the manipulation of the democratic system. I mean, like,
what
they don't have to share anything.
Is before the military steps up and reverses the course of history here, Donald Trump is going to have to present his proof that the election was stolen, or it will not be accepted.
He's done it time and time again. He's tried his best to do it, and there have been certain things that have played out that actually is helping his case a lot. So I know it seems like it doesn't, but I mean, we'll see over the next couple of days. I could be completely out in left field. I mean, I really could, but at the same time, I'm still holding out hope that something will happen. I mean, if it doesn't change and Biden does get in office, we're going to see the nation as a completely different nation. It's going to be un-American the way we know it. And I hope that it doesn't happen. But at the same time, God's will be done.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I just don't. I mean, there's never been a shift of power in human history that's been so radical that it literally reversed the course of a nation. I understand why people feel that way, and I'm not excited about it either. But it's going to happen, and when it happens, it's going to be uncomfortable. But ultimately, the democratic system is built in such a way that it takes time to get things done. There are midterm elections. I mean, midterm elections are 24 months away. That's going to fly by. And we can resume control of the House and the Senate if we want to. And I think what will happen, and what I'm basing my guess on, is the cycles of history. History is cyclic. As much as death and taxes are guaranteed, history will repeat itself. And what's going to happen is the pendulum has swung far to the left. And then at the midterm election, as has happened many, many times throughout history, it will swing back really, really hard to the right. When it does, we'll regain control of maybe the House and the Senate, definitely the Senate, make it very difficult for any more of those radical changes to be made. And then in another 2 years, a Republican president will be elected, and it'll go right back to the other side.
I don't think it will.
Yeah, and that's fair for you to think that.
If Biden gets in office and Kamala is vice president, I don't think that it will happen. I think that look at how far they've gone in this election. And I know you've said in the past, well, you've got to play that card one time. Well, what if they work on perfecting it for this next time?
I don't think people will allow that. You'll have bloodshed before it happens again. I'll put it that way. There's a bunch. I mean, there's 74 million people who don't like the way this thing turned out. They're not going to be silent. What they're doing and what they don't understand is they are waking up a sleeping giant. They are waking up the moderately conservative, moderately Republican guys that had just get up, go to work every morning, and then vote for Donald Trump every 4 years are being radicalized, if you will, to the conservative agenda and what's happening. And there is an awakening of conservative people right now, like I don't think they understand. And that's where I think not that you're wrong, but I think that the mark will be missed. Is first of all, across history, politicians have understood that all it takes to be elected is promising more freebies than the other guy, right? And very rarely think about all the change Obama promised and then think about the change we got over those 8 years. A lot of this huffing and puffing and blowing your house down from Joe Biden, even the Democratic Party is not behind. And so he's going to have votes. Like, you're not going to see lockstep voting from Democrats across the board for 4 years. It's just not going to happen. It's just
because Biden is going to be kicked out, or he's going to be offed, and he's going to be claimed as incompetent, and then Kamala's going to take over. I mean, we know that. That's a given. He is just a pawn in their little game.
Is he the rook? The queen or the king?
He's definitely not the rook. I think he's the joker.
Is there a joker in chess, Connor?
No, there's not a joker in chess.
There are pawns, though.
Yeah, he's got to be next. He's got to be a little bit higher than a pawn. So I was thinking like maybe the queen.
There's actually
the most powerful piece on the board.
No, you're
There's
right.
Actually
he's probably the king. No, he's the king. That's exactly what he is. He can only move one piece at a time, and he can't really do much. That's what he is. See, I know. Call me Bobby Fischer.
The one who must be saved at all costs.
Yeah, call me Bobby Fischer.
There's actually a presidential.
You could also sacrifice him very easily.
On QVC,
you would
that's not the object of the game, though. Yeah.
On QVC, you can actually buy one of those presidential games. He's actually himself on the game. So, the Joe Biden piece.
What game?
Joe Biden chess. There's a presidential chess game.
Really?
Yeah. You can get
I got to find that.
I had to order that for you.
So I guess we don't have time to talk about my well, I guess we just finish my National Guard story briefly. So I was bonded out of jail early one morning, and I went straight to the recruiter's office where I signed up to join the Army. The gentleman there, the recruiter, said, son, you need to pass a drug test. And I said, okay. He said, can you pass a drug test? And I kind of looked at him. And he said, when was the last time? And I looked at my watch, and I said, 30 minutes ago. And so that was my introduction into joining the military.
Were you vetted at that time?
Yeah, well, clearly. They do some background checks. They do some stuff like that. I mean, they definitely vet you, but they couldn't vet. Well, they obviously can't vet what's coming, right? So I mean, anybody could get in. I mean, it's like radicalization. Yeah. Whoever is a quote unquote leak is probably probably weren't leaking when they joined. They probably developed a leak
they don't
over time.
They don't come in going, I'm going to tell everything.
That's right. Well, I mean, because when they came in, there was probably a different president. There was probably there were other circumstances that led them to not want to, and then now they're unhappy, and they're going to give up. If there's a leak, that's probably what's happened. So vetting probably wouldn't have helped at the entry point. So we are a Boomer in the Beard. You've heard it all here. That's what's going to happen, folks. It's going to be a heck of a 3 days. Hang on, buckle up your britches, hunker down, get some freeze-dried beans. You're going to need them, and don't take off that tinfoil hat. Boomer and the Beard will be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. News starts now.
The 25,000 National Guard troops who have descended upon Washington, D.C. are all being thoroughly vetted to make sure there are no threats from within during Wednesday's inauguration. ABC's Alex Stone is in D.C. with more.
We're continually going through the process and taking second, third looks at every one of the individuals assigned to this operation.
That was actually a National Guard member.
The heart of Washington is barricaded by tall anti-scale fencing, a National Guard standing at roadblocks with guns across their chests. Many blocks around the White House, Capitol, and National Mall are closed. Heidi says she's never seen anything like this living in D.C.
I lived here during 9/11 too, so I don't feel it was as blocked off as it is right now. This seems it's a lot worse, I feel
This
like.
is more blocked off than 9/11.
I feel like.
But as of right now, the streets are virtually empty. Over the weekend, there were no major protests here. Alex Stone, ABC News, Washington.
State houses across the country remained calm over the weekend too. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Gotcha Covered Screen Printing and Embroidery in Athens. Our team is here to help you with custom printed t-shirts that you want. And we know that means quality. At Gotcha Covered Screen Printing and Embroidery, we focus on the highest quality and the fastest turnaround time possible. Gotcha Covered Screen Printing and Embroidery on West Sandifer Road in Athens. Call to make an appointment with our graphic designer. She's awesome. 256-444-4500. That's 444-4500. And online at gotchacoveredathens.com.
There's nothing like the peace and serenity that you get while fishing. Invest in the rod you deserve. Old 18 is a veteran-owned company operated by a U.S. Navy SEAL and Top Gun fighter pilot, breaking the mold of the fishing industry. At Old 18, we offer high-quality products with a 25-year master rod builder behind every rod. We offer a no-nonsense, hassle-free warranty we stand in front of so you don't get left behind. Shop old18.com and type in the code BEARD for a 20% discount.
It's your news now. WVNN. Depend on it.
I want to get away. Welcome back, Hometown Heartbeat, Boomer and the Beard. I am Zach Walker. I wonder, you often try to tell stories with your music.
That's like Lenny Kravitz.
I know. What I'm saying is you often are suggestive
Sometimes
with your music. Do you?
That wasn't one. Could have been, but it wasn't.
You trying to?
That I want to fly away.
Yeah.
Dear God, make me a bird so I can have wings and fly far, far away. Forrest Gump.
What accent was that?
The little girl in Forrest Gump. You don't remember? You
no, I remember the
part,
but the accent
Rudy
completely threw. No, that wasn't me watching it for the first time.
Oh, I thought it was.
No. Did you not
I
let
guess
me
I didn't
change her
read.
life?
Oh, okay. So okay, gotcha. Have you seen Forrest Gump?
Does a one-legged duck swim in a circle?
Just checking.
Does a cat have hair on its butt?
I don't know. I don't got
Of
that close.
course I've seen Forrest Gump. Good gracious.
Hey, I had 2 weird altercations this weekend. We can talk about it sometime.
Altercations?
Yeah, I actually got into altercation. 2 people.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't mean to. Yeah.
Oh, we've got to hear
Okay,
this.
well, question number 1, was Chastity there?
No,
Because you're intent.
she wasn't. No,
okay,
she wasn't
okay.
either one of them.
Well, that clarifies a
which
lot.
which would have been good.
Because had she been there, your intent to get into a fight would have been irrelevant.
Yes.
Because she would get you into a fight.
Yes.
Okay.
Both of them were ones where like I didn't know it was going to get as heated as it did.
So when you say altercation, when
Like
I
an
say
argument, not a
okay,
fight, but like
okay.
more like an argument.
Verbal
Yes,
confrontation.
Yes, verbal
okay.
confrontation.
Altercation to me means you're going to catch his hands.
Yeah. Like the first one, so Timothy, who's 14.
Timothy?
T-Bone, as we call him.
Oh, Lord.
Because he likes steaks.
He looks like it.
So he is playing just for fun in a recreational flag football league, which is very
Do
cold.
they have offensive linemen in flag?
Well, no, here's the thing. So he is a center, so it's getting to where he can take some snaps.
Okay.
But the center gets to go out as like a tight end. Okay. Well, so Timothy's playing.
Is he running the Clydesdale routes?
Well, I'm telling you. So to say that he was a man amongst boys would be an understatement. Okay. So he goes out there and he scores the first touchdown of the game, which, 6'1" and jumping up. He looked pretty strong. Well, I hear the other coach on the other side say, I need to see that boy's birth certificate. And at first I was kind of like, oh.
A funny joke.
Funny.
Funny.
Well, then when the game's over and they've won like 28, Timothy got 2 touchdowns. The guy was really adamant. Where's that kid's father? And I'm like, well, what kid's like? And he literally was like going. He goes, I need to see his birth certificate. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't carry that with me.
Hold on a minute. Let me pull that out of my beep.
Wow.
It was really weird. It was awkward. And I always said we just got to it. And I was like, this is flag football. You need to chill. Well, it's an unfair advantage. I was like, he's 14. His birthday is April 19th, 2006. Do you want me to pull up my calculator and help you? I got kind of smart with him. Oh, you want to get smart? And I'm like, oh, my gosh. And we were standing outside behind a church. I was like, Lord, I'm here near the church. So, but we left. But then the funny thing was, I guess the league, because I don't know, I guess it's not smart to play flag football in the winter. So there's only 2 teams of their age group. So in the next 7 Saturdays, we play that same team 7 times.
Oh
my
boy.
gosh.
It's horrible. So yeah, that's
Are you going to take the birth certificate the next game?
I think I should.
Yeah, for real.
I think you should.
And whether he asked for it or not, I'd walk my happy bald butt over there and stick it in his face and be like, hey, in case you were wondering, here it is, big dog.
What if I made a shirt with it on it?
With a copy of his birth certificate on it? Yes.
Yes.
Like the big guy's mind.
My son is 14.
So,
yeah.
So that was
It's going to be really weird when it makes it in the thrift store in a couple of years.
Oh, I know. Can we block out his social security number? Okay. I don't know if I'm a birth certificate. I know that. Anyway, so the second altercation is yesterday afternoon. We're just trying to figure out. I had to do grocery shit. Sunday's my day. I take my 85-year-old mother out for her shopping excursion. So it's very stressful. And so we were trying to figure out what to do. Chastity didn't want to cook. I didn't want to cook. So she was like, hey, let's do Taco Bell. I'm like, okay.
Oh,
I said,
what a terrible idea.
But I hadn't had Taco Bell in a long time. I was like, well, we'll
There's
see.
usually a reason.
So Chastity texted me, and I got to make sure I get the name right here. So I asked them, hey, I'm out. I hate it when you're on the phone and people try to give you all their orders, and you're supposed to try to remember this. So I'm always like, hey, please text me.
Yes.
What you guys want or whatever, and we all have it. So I pull up into the line at Taco Bell, and I say, I need to get this was Timothy, 4 quesaritos.
Wow.
Okay. Which, have you heard of a quesarito before?
No.
All right, so here it is.
Before of anything
there's
seems
what it
a
looks
little
like.
challenging.
Well, no, it's just a little burrito or whatever. But, Timothy's a grown boy. So I don't know what a quesarito is. So I'm like, hey, that looks actually really good. I want some of those too. Well, the girl at the drive-thru line says, that's something you have to purchase on our app. So if you'd like to get that, you'd have to leave the line, pull out and park, and go to the app and order it from the app.
What?
And I'm like, I'm trying to just wrap my brain around the whole thing. And then Chastity wanted a Taco Supreme Pro Bowl, which is like one of their protein bowls or whatever.
Right.
It also is a thing that can only be ordered on the app.
This is a lie.
No. So I'm confused.
When?
I know. So I'm confused. I'm trying to call Chastity, and there's people behind me, so I don't want to be that person. So I literally pulled out, drove around, and parked. Called Chastity. I was like, I don't know. I really don't know how to process this. I was like, so I'm going to try to go back through the line and see. I said, but apparently you can only get this quesarito online through their app only.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah. So I go back through the line. I pull up, and I was like, hey, I just need a just to get a little clarification. Can you guys make a quesarito? Yes, but you have to order on the app. I'm like, but I want one here, like right now. And I also want this bowl. And they're like, sir, I'm sorry, but you can't do that. We can't even ring it up.
What?
You can only ring it up through the app.
I would have liked to have been in that marketing meeting where the executives at Taco Bell were sitting there and they were like, all right, so Connor, we have this idea. We think we want to add these really, really solid menu items, but they're not going to be able to order them from the drive-thru, and they're not going to be able to order them from the check-in counter. They're going to have to sit in the parking lot and buy them from the app exclusively.
I would leave immediately.
People love apps, you're right,
No.
but they hate inconvenience.
But people love apps.
No.
So you're doing a good
But
job. I like that. He's playing that.
But
character.
here's the difference. So then I'm like in the line, and this is the second time. Same girl. Well, she, as much as I'm being very agitated and frustrated with her, I guess she feels the same way. And I was like, but she goes, sir, I don't have time to argue with it. You can either go to the app or go to another restaurant.
Wow.
And I was like, well, I guess I'm going to another restaurant. Then my part where I've literally turned into my father is what I've turned into.
That's what happened.
Wow.
So I pull up, and the window is open of the drive-thru, and I stopped my car, and I yelled, "You people are idiots!" and then drove off.
Good for you,
Then
Boomer.
I called the manager.
Good for you.
But
Yeah, that's probably what Christ would do. That's what Christ would require from us.
That's what I need
Exactly.
to see.
That's what I was saying.
Can you
Good
guys
for
find
you.
the Bible verse that says how you're supposed to deal with idiots that work at Taco Bell? I couldn't find it. I tried to Google it.
I could probably point to a few. I could probably
That's
point
where
to a few, but I don't
it
think
come
you would
towards
like
me.
them.
That's where you go and turn the tables over.
Right. That's what I wanted to do. And here's the thing. I really don't like Taco Bell.
kidding,
but
Zach.
I really wanted Taco Bell that bad. That's much more. But I was blown away. But I called the manager, and honest to goodness, that's what the manager said. He says, we're really trying to get people to use our app.
That's
And he
No,
said,
not good.
and he said he can't even manually go in
It
and
doesn't-
type it into the thing.
So if you've never worked in a fast food store, which I have, but when you worked in the drive-thru, or when you worked in a fast food store, they didn't even have the drive-thrus with like speakers yet. They had, you had car hops.
But
So,
Add a tin can and a string.
But everything we made was on the menu.
right,
On
and
the-
so I get this whole one. Like there is a very good business reason to want to drive people to your app. So I get that.
Right.
But offer
However,
rewards or something.
space bar, it doesn't make a ton of sense to not like. I get what they're trying to do, but if you want to do that, maybe push a free quesarito through the app or do something to get them to go to the app. Not offering a product in your when there are multiple ways to order food from a restaurant, you ought to be able to order any of the food from any of those ordering venues, right? Like if I'm in the drive-thru, I ought to be able to order anything I want to eat from whatever restaurant that is. Now, if Taco Bell wants to do that, great, but they lost, a $30
How
order.
about give you a discount? Like, hey, you're gonna pay $10 for
do
this.
something to incentivize the app other than if you want these
Right.
two meals, you can only do them by sitting in the parking lot and looking like
Yeah, my father.
So
okay, go ahead.
So there's also issues of like my phone right now. I've got so many pictures. I cannot download another app on my phone right now. So
Sandee,
in those
may I offer you
instances,
some cloud storage.
well, it's really bad because I've got that too. So I take a lot of pictures of hair. So I mean, it's like me. I would be like, well, I don't have room on my phone to get an app. Like
Well, my dad.
That's the stupidest
Sandy, may
thing
I
I've
offer
ever
you an
heard
upgrade
of.
to your cloud storage? You have a storage problem.
No. So my father, and this is where my mom even, she was in the car with me, and she was like,
Oh, I would let your mom at him.
no, my mom was like, you've turned into your dad. I was like, because my father, I remember this story where my dad went, my dad worked for Ford Motor Company for 32 years in Louisville, and he went to a restaurant, and he wanted a bacon, lettuce, tomato sandwich. And they said, sir, we don't have those. And he was like,
do you have bacon?
You have bacon?
Do you have lettuce,
he goes,
tomato?
I'll pay $100 for a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. And the little people were jerks to my dad and charged him $100.
Oh, no.
And so my dad then came up after that, and he says, well, I paid the $100, but I wanted to let you know, remember all those Ford Motor Company union guys that come in every week? I'm the one that organizes that, and we won't be back. And it was like 100 people that came every week, so he had the last word with them.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
This is Mike 4 years ago. This is Mike having the same conversation with Debbie just last month. And today, he's at it again.
What's that, Mike?
I said our house is still underwater.
How do you know? Have you had it appraised lately?
Well, no.
Has the coronavirus made your life less financially stable? Are you worried about your next mortgage payment? Reed's Family REI is a family-based real estate investing company ready to buy your house for cash in any area or condition and close in 2 weeks. You don't have to fix it up. There's no agent fees, and we handle the closing costs. Selling a home can be very stressful, and Wyatt Reed and his team at Reed's Family REI will put together the best possible offer for your specific needs. Sell your home fast with Reed's Family REI. 931-292-2875. That's 931-292-2875. And online at reedsfamilyrei.org. Reed's Family REI. Creative real estate experts for all your buying or selling needs.
In any home, cabinets are an instrumental part of your design. So, when you open your current cabinets, what instrument do they play? Wouldn't you rather they sounded like this? They can. It just takes one call to us.
Cabinet Express Online, North Alabama's premier cabinet supplier. Whether you want a complete custom kitchen or some of our RTA line, at Cabinet Express Online, you will get the most value out of your hard-earned money every time. Are you looking for framed or frameless? Either way, in no time at all, your dream kitchen can be a reality. And the only place you should trust to bring that dream to life is Cabinet Express Online. Schedule your free design consultation today with Cabinet Express Online. Call 256-289-7355. That's 289-7355. And online at CabinetExpressOnline.com. Design your custom kitchen today with Cabinet Express Online.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you can move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed. It's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry MyPillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever. Buy one MyPillow, get one MyPillow free. Call 800-889-7318 or go to MyPillow.com. Click on radio specials and use code BEARD at checkout.
Where is your haircut gone? We know you don't get out as much. You don't drive by your regular sport clips and pop in for that MVP haircut experience that is so much more than a haircut. But isn't it worth getting out for? For that legendary hot steam towel for your face, massaging shampoo that makes you melt into your seat. Oh man, you remember that, right? We found your haircut. It's right where you left it. Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy.
The talk station in Alabama, WVNN. Depend on it.
Welcome back, Boomer and the Beard. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful bearded host. It is 12 minutes to the top of the hour, and love hurts. Joining me today, as is normal, we've got the man, the myth, the legend, Boomer. We've got Sandee Lou. We've got producer Connor, and we are thankful for your joining us each and every day here on the best, the smartest, the only morning radio show. We will be taking you through the 8 o'clock hour this morning, so you'll get one extra hour of your favorite talk show. Joining us will be Tom Fredericks and Ed Henry. We'll be talking about the free speech rally coming up this weekend that we'll be a part of. So it's going to be a lot of fun. By the way, this is my first time telling you, but we're going to be a part of that this upcoming weekend. And so that'll be a ton of fun. I mean, folks, this is a very serious time in our history, and I know that I'm a big jokester.
So we're a part of what this weekend?
This upcoming weekend, it's a free speech rally.
Oh, wow.
At Fredericks Outdoors, on Bethel Road. And so Mo Brooks will be
day?
Saturday.
What time?
When I say we, I say me, and then hopefully we. But the show will be represented in some capacity.
Yeah.
I
usually can make most things if I've given a chance.
Yeah, so Saturday. I'm giving you. I mean, you got a whole 6 days to to make arrangements. We'll talk about that a little bit more as we go on. I wanted to bring you a surprise on Monday morning. But before we do so, Purcell Lumber and Custom Millwork is the official home renovation, home building, home supply store company of Boomer and the Beard. And let me tell you something, those guys just keep growing. Their shop is huge. When lumber prices are high, shortages are real. Purcell Lumber has a good price on great materials. Lynn Purcell is a great man and does great business, treats his customers incredibly well. He operates his business with a level of integrity that you don't see in many places, and they have the most beautiful showroom in the southeastern United States. Benjamin Moore Paints, DeWalt Tools, custom doors, custom trim, custom everything. Give them a call today, 256-232-6320. Tell them the Beard sent you, and they will take great care of you. They're going to take great care of you either way. But if you like this show and you want to see it continue, support our sponsors and let them know why you're there. Like I'm going to tell Dr. Lang this morning, I heard about you on the radio.
Talked about you.
Yeah, we will talk about we'll talk about this free speech rally. Mo Brooks will be headlining it. Mo Brooks will be speaking, and we do a lot of joking on the show. We do a lot of laughing, and we try to stay away from politics as much as we can within reason. I mean, you get plenty of that from other shows, so we obviously talk about it. I can't sit here and act like we don't talk about it. But what we're facing in this country with censorship and conservative voices being quieted is one of the more serious. It's more serious than any pandemic. I will put it that way. And so it is time to become active. It's time to get out there and
if we show up, we may get banned from stuff.
Yeah, that's okay. Certain causes are worth getting behind, and my right to free, that is one of those unalienable rights that was given to me by my Creator, not by my government. Therefore, my government will not take it away from me. And so we will be very much active in that. I think I'll be maybe giving a little speech and doing a little talk in there, and so it'll be a lot of fun, certainly. But it's definitely something we need to get involved. So all those details will come out at 6:30. I almost said Tom Henry and Ed Fredericks. Ed Henry and Tom Fredericks will be joining us to talk through that. And then, like I said, we'll be carrying you to the 8 o'clock hour. Legendary Will Hampson will be joining us at 7, and we'll carry you guys through an extra hour this morning. But we're talking about how my back was kind of janky this week.
I had something to kind of fit with what you're talking about. Before you go into your back.
Okay.
Can do that?
Yeah,
Sorry,
sure, buddy. No, it's your show. I'm just riding in it. It's your rodeo, boss.
So the Capitol rioters.
Okay. You mean the CIA operatives?
Yes.
Yes.
Like, has anybody heard, or Connor, have you heard, you're kind of into this stuff, what is the said penalty for?
Well, nothing, because they got the laptops that are going to prove the election fraud.
But I mean, like, if you break into and do damage at a federal building, do we have any idea? Because I've not heard.
Well, I mean, they can hit you with terrorism charges.
Okay, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. So what's the end all be all? Because it seems like to me, as bad as I think those situations were, they're going after these guys like I've never seen anybody. Even to the point, the top dating apps in the world.
Oh, wow. What a stretch to tie this
have
together.
been conducting investigations involved with the attack on the Capitol. A new tool used on Tinder, Hinge, and OkCupid that if they have see any kind of speech, they see any kind of MAGA hat or whatever, you're banned from the dating site. You okay with that?
That is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard of in my entire life.
Once upon a time,
when you were on
when I was on
Match.com?
OkCupid, this is a true story.
Sure you weren't on Grindr?
Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
What is Grindr? I don't know what that was.
Yes, you do. It's a gay dating.
I know.
site. Yeah. Don't act like you didn't know that. That's one of those insults. It's like calling you skinny. I mean, it's just so blatantly,
wrong right.
that it just not even, not even a good insult. But kind of funny. I give you that. I almost said Grindr. OkCupid was not exactly used for, how do I say, long-term dating.
True. Yes, it was.
It was more of
hookup.
You want to Netflix and chill.
Yeah.
And so not a lot of passionate political speech put on there. And so I see this as another placation, another just a pass, they're just playing a game.
Right.
I mean, they don't,
but shouldn't you be like
they should,
one of the people
but they should be able to say what you can and can't say. I mean, again, we've got to stay consistent, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if that's what they choose to do, there just needs to be a conservative company that comes out and develop. That's what the free market is meant for, right?
Well, I want crazies to have their spot because I want to know where they are. You know what I'm
right?
saying? I mean,
No. We all agree that that's what we would like to see.
Yeah.
But we also can't act like they don't have the right to do that.
Because one of these guys, his actual, because they had questions, you always get those one like, perfect first date. And his perfect first date was
Trump rally?
storming the Capitol. So I mean, he should get that.
Underemployment, was it CIA operative?
But the one lady took the photos, and actually turned them into the FBI.
Whoa!
Yeah, they went hardcore. But
wow, hey, how about swipe right?
The political filter that they have on these, it's crazy. They literally but it only takes out one political side, one political filter, not the other side. But this lady felt like it was her civic duty to turn them in and have the banned users on the platform. And we thought all the Trump supporters were just at farmersonly.com. So could have just took out that one.
Shows you
website.
what you know.
So I
wonder if Grindr has the same policy. Just out of curiosity.
They probably like farmers too.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Oh man.
Speaking of Grindr,
that was one I was going to go for, but I knew it would be
what you talking about.
Can't farmers only. And
okay, Mm-hmm. So speaking of Grindr, my butt was, we've talked about my hip and my upper hip. I'm kidding. That tie-in was a bit of a joke there, but that was pretty funny.
Horrible.
It was funny. It was okay. So we talked about how we've talked about at length my testosterone issues on the show and how I've been struggling to get those numbers where they're supposed to be, and that creates a very lethargic, very. It's hard to motivation. It's just really frustrating because you don't feel well. The best way my brother-in-law asked me if I'd gotten calibrated yet, and that's really the best way I know how to explain how it feels. It's like you just don't feel calibrated. You feel always a little off, a little tired, a little like. When we come in here and the lights come on and we start selling popcorn, like I'm a gamer, and so I can create that energy for these 2 hours, or when we do the long show, 5 hours, whatever. But throughout the rest of the day, it's a challenge. Like it's energy's lacking, and so we've really been working hard. So I went and got the hip implant, the subdermal capsules, and they're like Traeger grill pellets that go in your upper hip, and everybody says
not in your butt.
It's incredibly high. Honestly, it's like right almost to your belt line.
Those would be Traeger suppositories.
Okay, it's really high on your hip, and so because it like your belt actually is quite uncomfortable for a day or two. So it's actually really high. But this was my first time to get them, and he had mentioned some things that might happen. Well, my back was all jacked up this weekend, and so I sat on a heat pad for literally for most of the weekend. I was in my chair, and I couldn't even go to church. I was supposed to play this Sunday, and I couldn't even stand up straight, and so I didn't play. And I was sitting there, and I looked at my wife, and I was like, "Hey, do you think these heat pads are like bad for these pellets?" Like, I have no idea. I mean, they didn't warn me about a hot tub or hot showers or baths or anything like that, so I had no reason to think, and it may not be. But at one point, I reached back, and there was kind of itchy on my suture mark or whatever, and I kind of reached back to kind of itch it a little bit, and I felt something pop. And there was like a liquid that came out. And so I've had a couple of these pellets work their way backwards and pop out of the incision hole.
Oh, my gosh.
So I got to call my doc today. Of course, today's a holiday, so no one will be there. So I have to call my doc tomorrow and see like what the deal is with that. I'm just, this thing wasn't very cheap, and so I'm just curious how many dollars worth of testosterone came backwards. Maybe that's going to be frustrating.
When you go to the doctor at the Pilot truck stop, maybe you should.
Okay. You got anything else you want to throw out there?
I'm worried about you.
This is the Boomer and Boomer show. You go ahead and take us all the way to the break.
Hope you've had a great morning so far, enjoying your breakfast, talking about pellets coming out your hips.
This is Zach Walker, Boomer and the Beard. Don't touch that dial. It is the top of the hour. We'll be right back.
WVNN Athens, WVNN FM Trinity, a Cumulus station. It's 6 o'clock. News starts now.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. U.S. defense officials worried about an insider attack or other threat have begun the process of thoroughly vetting all 25,000 National Guard troops in Washington for the inauguration. There will be a run-through for the ceremony today, put off a day because of continued security concerns.
This is Alex Stone in Washington, just a few blocks away from the White House, at anti-scale fences that are now up around this area, blocking access anywhere close to the White House, Capitol, and National Mall. National Guard members are standing with their guns across their chests, manning roadblocks, and security continues to tighten amid threats to the inauguration.
Vice President-elect Kamala Harris will resign from the Senate today. ABC's Mark Remillard is also in Washington.
Harris was only the second black woman to serve in the U.S. Senate and will resign from her seat on Monday. Not able to give a speech on the Senate floor as it's not in session, but she will make a formal address today. Her resignation comes just 2 days ahead of the inauguration, where she'll become the first black, first Asian American, and the first woman to occupy the vice presidency. Her seat in the Senate will be filled by California's Secretary of State Alex Padilla, who was selected by Governor Gavin Newsom. Mark Remillard, ABC News, Washington.
As the U.S. hits 400,000 coronavirus deaths, there is cautious optimism in California as the daily increase in infections begins to flatten. But EMS Medical Director Carl Schultz in Orange County says it's too soon to celebrate.
It takes about a month from the time you first start to see increased cases to the time it impacts the hospitals. So just because things are getting better now, it's still a little early to celebrate, and we really do have to worry about what the end of the month is going to look like.
The UK mutation, which spreads more quickly than the first version of the virus, has now been found in at least 20 states. Huge vaccination centers like those set up at Disneyland and Hard Rock Stadium, as well as Citi Field in New York, say they are running out of the vaccine and appointments are overbooked because of it. You're listening to ABC News.
Cindy and her husband felt stuck paying annual fees on their timeshare. But what could they do?
We tried to sell it, but no results. No results at all.
Then they called Newton Group, and that's when things really started to happen.
We got a call within days. We never felt like they forgot us because we would get updates along the way.
Before long, they were free and clear.
We signed up with Newton Group in August, and it was a done deal by January.
And how's Cindy now?
We're very happy with Newton Group. It was a very, very positive experience for us, and we highly recommend them. And we are looking forward to not having to pay the $1,500 a year.
Do what Cindy did. Call Newton Group for your free consultation and free consumer's guide to timeshare exit. Call 877-TOP-EXIT. That's 877-TOP-EXIT. Newton Group has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, so call them at 877-TOP-EXIT or visit newtonexit.com to...
Are you tired? You suffer from chronic fatigue, neuropathy, or joint pain? Call Madison Integrative Medicine. Our amazing staff will provide an individualized patient experience focused on your overall health to treat the cause, not just the problem. Utilizing both traditional and natural medicine. Don't let the symptoms become overwhelming. Treat them preventatively with Madison Integrative Medicine on Slaughter Road in Madison. Call 256-325-0955. That's 325-0955.
Karen's a quilter.
Karen's Quality Quilts. Quality custom quilts quickly.
How's the quilting business, Karen?
Kinda quiet. My quest to quadruple my quilting sales has created a quagmire.
Can I be candid, Karen?
Okay.
You need a website that can encompass the quality of your quilts.
I know quilts, but I know no computers. They're confusing.
But there are people who know coding like you know quilting.
Who's that?
I'm glad you asked. Web Underdog creates websites that don't just catch the eye, they catch customers. And they're as user-friendly for you as they are for your clients. We build high-quality, clean, well-coded, custom designs for organizations of all sizes that are affordable, professional, and specially made for your brand and visitors. Outside of responsive web design, Web Underdog also offers search engine optimization, website management, and so much more. Give your business the professional touch and contact Web Underdog for a free web design quote. Call 256-998-0667. That's 998-0667 and online at webunderdog.com. Web Underdog, your local web design and SEO agency.
This is Mike 4 years ago. This is Mike having the same conversation with Debbie just last month. And today, he's at it again.
What's that, Mike?
I said our house is still underwater.
How do you know? Have you had it appraised lately?
Oh, well, no.
Has the coronavirus made your life less financially stable? Are you worried about your next mortgage payment? Reed's Family REI is a family-based real estate investing company ready to buy your house for cash in any area or condition and close in 2 weeks. You don't have to fix it up. There's no agent fees and we handle the closing costs. Selling a home can be very stressful, and Wyatt Reed and his team at Reed's Family REI will put together the best possible offer for your specific needs. Sell your home fast with Reed's Family REI. 931-292-2875. That's 931-292-2875. And online at reedsfamilyrei.org. Reed's Family REI. Creative real estate experts for all your buying or selling needs.
You go as hard as you can. And then a little harder.
And then it was like I stepped funny, you know? And I could barely walk on it.
Okay, let's take a look.
At Lang Chiropractic, we'll help your sports performance and your overall health by improving your range of motion, flexibility, relieving inflammation, and so much more. Focusing to improve your health and wellness in all areas of your life. Whether you're having trouble with back pain, neck pain, or just want to start feeling better when you wake up in the morning, Dr. David Lang is focused on a whole person approach, finding those underlying causes and creating a personalized plan for your individual needs. Schedule your visit by calling 256-444-1600. That's 444-1600 at Lang Chiropractic on Highway 72 East in Athens in the Publix Shopping Center. Visit us online at langchiropracticcenter.com. Lang Chiropractic, we've got your back. Come see us today.
This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
When you wish upon a star. Come on, sing it. The dream will take you very far, yeah. Well, just wish upon a dream. That ain't always what you seem, oh yeah. This one goes out to you, Stephen Ellaby. This is Earth, Wind, and Fire. When one of my best friends from college, we used to make the trip back from Texas to Arkansas in the gun show, which is what the nickname was for my Big Red, was my truck that I got when I was 16. I got two vehicles. I got a 1987 Nissan with 187,000 miles on the original clutch, and then I got a Grand Marquis with red leather interior. That was my grandmother's. So I actually had two vehicles, and then I sold both of those and got a what we call Big Red or gun show. It was a Dodge Dakota with a 5-speed and a V8. And that joker would go, son. And we used to make the trip back from Texas to Arkansas together. And me and Stephen Ellaby would rock out to Earth, Wind, and Fire. And so that always brings up good memories. So that one for you, Gun Show. Love you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. He listens to the show every day and enjoys our content. And he's like family. That's the guy we call Big Black Steve. I've told that story before. That's Big Black Steve. He's got the tattoo that says Mattew. M-A-T-T-E-W, because they forgot the H. My Pillow is spelled M-Y-P-I-L-L-O-W, and they're basically giving away pillows for free right now. I mean, going to get you some pillows. We're going to get you some so you can experience the joy that is My Pillow. But right now, $29.99 will get you a premium My Pillow. All you have to do is go to mypillow.com/radio specials. Use promo code BEARD at checkout. That's at mypillow.com/radio specials. Use promo code BEARD at checkout for a $29 My Pillow. That's unbelievable. And your money back guarantee, good all the way to March. What? Yeah, that's right. All the way to March. That's absurd. If you don't like it, send it back. They'll send you your money. It's crazy. So make sure you guys support our sponsors and go get them, get your My Pillow for you and your family, and then you can sit at the cool kids table at lunch. So I'm watching this. Is anyone familiar with America's Cup? Anyone?
I'm not.
So America's Cup is this sailing race, I guess. 866-494-9866. 866-494-WVNN. If you are a sailing person and you know anything about this, I would be very curious to hear from you, because this is something that I have seen over the years, but these are like these crazy, they look like Ferraris of sailboats. And they have these hydrofoils that like stick out and like barely touch the water, and we just looked it up, they'll do 55, 60 miles an hour with nothing but 3 hydrofoils in the water, and one capsized over the weekend at a high rate of speed. I mean, it's pretty gnarly looking.
Yeah, they go airborne.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, they it's like they can fly. I believe I can fly. So give us a call, 866-494-9866. We're watching the phones. If you guys want to give us a holler and you know anything about this stuff, we would love to hear from you, because I'm very interested to know.
Not seen too many of those other Decatur or
No, I've never seen one launch out of Ingalls. I'll know that. And so I'm just curious, although that bridge looks similar to the one in Decatur, although it's in Australia. But I am definitely interested to see if anybody knows something, because these things look crazy. I mean, they're I don't understand why one's sponsored by a tire company. That's a little
tire in the water.
Hey, do you have a pit crew on the sailboats?
Could be made like rubber. The whole thing could be rubber.
For new tire, yeah, I guess. Probably not. I don't know that would be very fast. But give us a call if you guys know anything about that. Sandee Lou standing by on the phones, and would love to hear from you guys. So, speaking of this whole cancel culture, this whole thing, we've got Crazy Train in the news again. And AOC, old Crazy Train out there, is...
Oh, crazy old Cortez.
She's crazy for sure. Her newest thing is that taxpayer dollars need to be used to, quote, de-radicalize. First of all, is that a word, Connor? De-radicalize?
Sure.
Okay. Can you look it up and just confirm?
I've heard it many times before.
Well, I mean, you've also heard things like turnt and I just forgot all of our words of the day that we went through.
De-radicalize, verb.
Okay, cool. That's fine. I think we all know what it means. I just want to. Sandee, if you're going to laugh, turn on your mic for the love of God. I saw your laughter.
I can't help it.
I saw your laughter.
I'm trying to get the computer to work so I can send files to Connor, and I mean that was hilarious.
Yeah. So, speaking with supporters during a virtual town hall Friday night, Ocasio-Cortez blamed all the recent violence, including but not limited to the deadly riots at the U.S., which, by the way, she's also lumping in Kenosha and all these other.
Oh, so they get counted now.
Yeah.
They count now.
Because it's white supremacy. And the white supremacists caused it's futile and nihilist.
Nihilist.
What in the world does that mean?
Nihilist, like.
Can I get like a Webster dictionary?
They don't believe that the Nile River exists.
Science denier, science denier, science denier.
Nihilism is the rejection of all religious and moral principles in the belief that life is meaningless.
Say that one more time. The rejection of all religious and moral principles on the basis that life is meaningless?
Yes. Or extreme skepticism maintaining that nothing in the world has a real existence. It's it's commonly associated with negativity and cynicism and pessimism.
And nihilism.
Nihilism, yeah.
First of all, I don't like the way it's spelled. And the way you pronounce it, based on the way it's spelled, it doesn't.
It's like a K-N, like N.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's N-A-N-I-H-I. Nihil. Nihil.
Canute.
To life, nihil. Instead of Lahio, I'm sitting in there. Anyways, she added of white supremacists, their world will never exist. That's why we're seeing violence right now. Speaking in response to a question about how Americans should respond to those who believe in conspiracy theories, but were not part of the violence on Capitol Hill, Ocasio-Cortez warned there is a problem this is a problem that won't go away on January 20th. You don't say. And it will require many, many millions of hands to, quote, pick up the pieces. She furthermore went on to say that during her time in the House Subcommittee on Civil Rights, and so the fact that she's on any subcommittee is terrifying, but she has learned of programs that will de-radicalize white supremacists. Is this like deprogramming?
I don't know.
Is this the stuff they say they don't want to send other...
I've always felt like, especially today with being Martin Luther King Jr. Day, when people have misused the, racism by calling someone a racist, or, now they're literally calling people that are in Congress, in the Senate, white supremacist. Does it not water down the meaning of using that word? So like a guy that's got swastikas and things on their forehead and their shoulders and all this kind of stuff, is it, are we getting into a situation to where if you call, I'm trying to think, just some guy from Oklahoma that's a, Republican congressman or whatever, he's white supremacist now because she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, let's go to a break, and when we come back, we'll dive into a little bit more of this. But apparently, there's a bunch of programs out there that Donald Trump has just pulled the plug on because apparently he loves white supremacy.
Yeah, they're cuckoo.
This is real life, folks. We're not making this up. This is not I almost said the Buffalo Bee, the Babylon Bee. This is a real news story. You're listening to Boomer and the Beard. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
Where is your haircut gone? We know you don't get out as much. You don't drive by your regular sport clips and pop in for that MVP haircut experience that is so much more than a haircut. But isn't it worth getting out for? For that legendary hot steam towel for your face, massaging shampoo that makes you melt into your seat. Oh man, you remember that, right? We found your haircut. It's right where you left it. Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy.
My great-great-aunt Bertha May had certain words she would not let us say at the dinner table. Nowadays, if you're a government contractor, CMMC is one of those words. Cyber...
Madison. Enjoy our famous pizzas loaded with edge-to-edge toppings, 100 slices of pepperoni, the family recipe sausage, fresh hand-cut veggies, and premium cheeses like our aged smoked provolone. You'll notice the Donato's difference. But why stop there? We also offer subs, calzones, wings, and desserts. Don't keep eating those same old leftovers. Make tonight a Donato's night with Donato's Pizza on Madison Boulevard in Madison. Call 256-772-6789. That's 772-6789. And online at Donatos.com. Donato's Pizza, where every piece is important.
Where Alabama talks.
Welcome back, Boomer and the Beard. I am Zach Walker, your big, bold, beautiful, bearded host. So thankful that you choose to join us here each and every morning. Be sure that you go to boomerandbeard.com. That's spell out the word and, boomerandbeard.com, to engage with us on every platform. That's Facebook, that's the Twitter box, that's the Instagram. However you guys want to engage with us, we would love to have you talking with us each and every day. Also, you guys really could help us out by going there and clicking on the podcast link, making sure that you follow the podcast, that you subscribe, so on and so forth. It's we would greatly appreciate your help.
Simple Helix, proud sponsor of Boomer and the Beard. If you need help with your IT department at your work, maybe it's just struggling, maybe it's a little overwhelmed and needs a little bit of extra help, 256-975-4758 is the number to get a hold of the good folks at Simple Helix. So if you're a business owner and you can easily just pay a monthly fee to have support and pay for that, instead of paying it for like on an hourly basis or having to pay big salaries, make sure that you can fit your needs to your company. Simple Helix, a Microsoft Gold partner, can help you manage your Microsoft environment. You just have to give them a call today, 256-975-4758.
I put out this weekend. We watched some movies because I was stuck in my recliner with the heat pad on my rump, lower back, also obviously on my testosterone implant, and so I put out a couple of posts over the weekend talking about different movies that we had watched. And I'm a big fan of Remember the Titans. So I grew up in Northern Virginia and played against T.C. Williams, actually. I was actually fortunate to play there at that school. And so Remember the Titans is one of those movies that I feel like I make my son watch it pretty much on a weekly basis. Like, hey, watch this movie.
Kid, you're getting out of line.
Yeah,
watch
that's
Remember
right.
the Titans.
Hey, sit down and watch this freaking movie, son. Look at Denzel do his thing. You're overcooking my grits, son. But no, I put out the picture of it. I said, how many else in this world make your kid watch this movie? And so obviously tons of positive response. Great movie. A particular gentleman said, what's the name of the movie? And I said,
Don't you remember?
One, I'm disappointed in you. Two, remember the Titans. And I got the most millennial response ever. It's like, don't judge people and be so narrow-minded.
Oh, my gosh.
And I was like, for the love of all that's good and holy. I guess sarcasm and humor is not a language that millennials speak. So if I offended anybody by saying that you should remember, I guess if Remember the Titans was bad, what do you think happened when I told them about Rudy? Good Lord. They lost their ever-loving mind. I made my wife watch that movie. I didn't remember. The movie's a little slow.
Well, there's a build-up.
It's a little slow.
Rudy gets turned down a lot.
He does. There's a lot of no in that movie.
A lot of build-up.
And I forgot about the death there too. There's a bit of a blow-up, if you will. I just saw that comment come across the old face box and thought that was pretty interesting. So we were talking about deplatforming and censorship, leading us into a conversation we're going to be having over the course of the rest of the show with Tom Fredericks of Fredericks Outdoors and Ed Henry. Tom just making his way into the studio, so we'll have him on. They'll be on starting next segment, and so in that vein, before we kind of dive into what's going to be going on this upcoming weekend and how important this is for us as Americans to become active in making our voice heard, some more news stories out there. It's not hard. I mean, you can throw a rock in any direction and find a news story about how we're being censored as conservative voices in America. But Facebook's top former official. So I guess this guy is a former upper echelon, management of Facebook.
An intern.
I've seen that movie with Vince Vaughn. Okay, or no, not. Yeah, that's Vince Vaughn
interns,
and
that's
Owen
right.
Wilson. But this former Facebook official now arguing conservative content should be deplatformed. And like just straight up saying it, like across the board. So a former top official at Facebook openly declared Sunday that television service providers should stop airing conservative content, citing networks like One American News and Newsmax. Speaking on CNN's, quote, reliable sources, Alex Stamos, not to be confused with John Stamos, the former chief security officer at Facebook, essentially argued that telecommunication giants like Comcast, AT&T, and Verizon need to censor right-leaning content. In fact, outright, the quote is, "We ought to turn down the capability of these conservative influencers to reach huge audiences," citing right-wing YouTubers who have larger audiences than daytime CNN. So let me break this down for you in a way that is for those of you in the back, I want you to pay attention. This is a former executive with Facebook saying that conservative YouTubers, we're talking about people that got out there and got it done and built their own audience and built their own following. We're not talking about being pushed out on networks. We're talking about created our own audience on YouTube. People coming and choosing you, not just flipping through the channels and getting to a network and then turning it up. I'm talking about people seeking out this content. That even those people need to be deplatformed in America, in this country, that a country that we used to consider free and still will and still can. And that's the whole point of this rally and everything we're doing is we're going to claim our country back. But you now have a movement of people saying all conservative voices need to be silenced. Tell me how that's not the definition of fascism, of communism, of socialism. I mean, all of these authoritarian dictatorships and kings, like, where does it all start? Let me tell you how it works. They silence the opposition voices, then they come for the guns, right? Well, they're full-fledged in number one, and number two is not far. And this is in our country.
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
It's terrifying. I mean, it's terrifying, and I mean the quotes just keep getting worse. It's quote, "It's up to Facebook and YouTube's in particular to think about whether or not they want to be effectively cable networks for disinformation." So opinion is now disinformation if it doesn't agree with them. Folks, this should scare the pants off of you. This should absolutely terrify you. And then
don't be going inciting nothing now. Be careful.
Yeah, if I'm not careful, you're right. Good Lord, I'll get deprogrammed or deplatformed. Look, if they want to deprogram me or deplatform me, I guess that's, I'm not going to back down from what I believe. But the following quote, again, this guy just pulls out a shovel and just keeps on digging. And then we have to figure out the OANN and Newsmax problem that these companies have freedom of speech. But I'm not sure we need Verizon, AT&T, and Comcast to be bringing them into tens of millions of homes. This is allowing people to seek out information if they really want to, but not pushing it into their faces. And I think that is really where we're going to have to go here. So what this guy is calling for, let me just translate this into perfect English for you. He's saying if conservative voices are going to have any platform whatsoever, it should be one that is not given, you don't give access to people that can't just go. Like when I turn on my TV right now, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 7 TVs in here, right? And we've got Fox News on one, CNN on the other, and ESPN on those. Those are what we choose to watch while we do this show. At any given time, less and less. But we'll see a conservative voice. We'll see Mo Brooks pop up. We'll see some great patriot. Not very many of them, because most of them are too scared to state their opinion. Which is why we in the state of Alabama are so thankful to have someone like Mo Brooks in Washington fighting the good fight. But we're talking about that's going to go away. If this guy gets his way, you will see nothing on the television that isn't liberal. There will be no conservative media. There will be no conservative point of view. There will be no conservative talk show. The radio, we talked about that. That's going to be their next push, and we've got some stories about that are coming out. But what in the world is happening? I mean, what in the hell is going on in this country?
They're tripling down right now.
Oh my
going
gosh!
Like,
sure. Folks, you cannot sit idly by. I realize that as conservatives, one of the things that I think we've been poor at in our history has been fighting. Right? Like typically, we're the party of just like, let the system work, and we're not going to burn cities to the ground. We're not going to do all those things. Obviously, we were pushed far enough that, and we all decried, and Tom Fredericks can add some to that for us. He was there in Washington. I was supposed to be there. I had the procedure that popped up that I forgot about, so I was unable to join. But he can probably speak to kind of what that felt like, because everybody says it wasn't exactly what was on the news, and I'm sure he would agree with that. And so I'm sure we'll get a recap of that in the next hour and a half. But folks, it's time to do something. Like we can no longer just sit here and let the system work its way out. We've got to now use our freedom of speech to redress the government. And that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do on Saturday. That's what's about to happen. That's what's going to continue to happen, hopefully. In this state, we have many great patriots who are willing to speak up. Tom willing to use his business in a way and his platform in a way to speak for what is right and what is what we have a right to speak for. Look, you don't have to agree with it, but it's our freedom to stand up and say it. And it needs to be said because people are uneducated. They're ignorant to the fact. And what's happening is we are being deplatformed, censored, and completely crushed as conservatives in this country.
Yeah, well, the left is marketing just to market and don't necessarily even market stuff that's not true. And I think the Republicans have stepped back and said, we're going to market truth, but sometimes truth doesn't have the same appeal. I mean, we were just watching CNN a little while ago, and across the top of it, it said, watch at your own risk, graphic content. But it was the methamphetamine, what do you call him, the Davy Crockett on meth?
Yeah, Davy Crockett on acid.
With a security guard taking a picture from a selfie. And it was like, this is dangerous content. Like, okay, what he did was wrong, but I didn't see graphic dangerous content.
No. I mean, I did see Chip Gaines walking out with a...
Market the truth. And let's try that, just a little...
No, radical misinformation campaign. Yes. You're listening to Boomer and the Beard. When we come back, Ed Henry, Tom Fredericks join us. We've got a freedom of speech rally coming up this weekend. We're going to tell you all about it. You don't want to miss it. Don't touch that dial or you're a communist. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. News starts now.
The 25,000 National Guard troops who will be patrolling Washington, D.C. on Inauguration Day are all being vetted thoroughly to prevent any sort of attack within the ranks, officials say. Today there will be an inauguration run-through. Vice President-elect Kamala Harris officially resigns from the Senate today as well. As for the president-elect, he is preparing for his first official day as president. What might we see?
As soon as he can get into the Oval Office, I think you can imagine him signing on the dotted line where he can reverse and rejoin the Paris Climate Accord. He wants to reverse President Trump's so-called Muslim ban. He's talked a lot about wanting to inspire a national plan of everyone wearing masks. I think that gets to a larger vision he has for the federal government, kind of reasserting itself across the country.
ABC News Deputy Political Director Mary Alice Parks. The country hitting 400,000 coronavirus deaths. Many doctors believe it's possible we'll hit 500,000 by mid-February. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
As you know, our friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of their life. He didn't stop at the MyPillow. Let me tell you something. I just got my Giza Dream bed sheets, and they are unbelievable. Mike found this cotton called Giza cotton. It's incredibly soft, super breathable, extremely durable, 60-day money back. That same money back guarantee, that same 10-year warranty that you have on that MyPillow you love so much. The first night you sleep on the Giza sheets, you will never want anything else. Let me tell you something. My son, he's 4. He knows the difference. He knows the difference. He said, Daddy, where are those soft sheets that Mr. Mikey sent me? I said, don't worry, kid, I got you. Pulled them out of the dryer, put them on there. Listen, you right now have a special offer. You will receive 2 for one low price and free shipping on the Giza Dream Sheets if you call 1-800-889-7318 or go to mypillow.com/radio specials. Use the promo code BEARD. Again, mypillow.com, radio specials, promo code BEARD.
When people walk through our doors, they all see something different.
A treehouse.
Our dream home.
Our cabin in the woods.
A new golf course community.
When you have every conceivable building material imaginable in place, the possibilities are limitless.
Purcell Lumber and Mill Shop. Let us bring your home improvement project to life. The best products and name brands in residential and commercial building supplies. From lumber to Benjamin Moore paints, DeWalt tools, custom millwork, doors, and more. Looking for something specific? Our friendly and knowledgeable staff is here to make sure you find the products you need to complete your home projects. Pay a visit today to Purcell Lumber and Mill Shop on Clinton Street in Athens and online at purcelllumberandmillshop.com. Or for questions, give us a call at 256-232-6320. Purcell Lumber and Mill Shop in Athens, where builders, remodelers, and home improvement specialists come to shop.
Last week, former Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein blasted the zero-tolerance immigration policy that was used on his watch. He said it should never have been proposed or even implemented. Now, he said this after a Justice Department watchdog report claimed the policy was the driving force responsible for thousands of children being separated from their parents. Here we go again with this lie. Rosenstein said he's been asking himself what could have been done differently. The zero-tolerance immigration policy is at the top of his list. Now, Democrats are coming back into power, and the groveling is a sight to behold. Anybody like Rosenstein, who yearns to get back into the left's good graces, has to pretend that they opposed everything Trump ever did and beg to be forgiven for their trespasses against a Democrat agenda. Now, for the record, the reason illegal immigrant parents were separated from their children was due to the 1997 Flores settlement between leftist immigration activists and the government under Bill Clinton, 20 years before Donald Trump became president. You can look it up. Now, according to news reports, caravans of migrants ready to illegally breach our borders are already forming in South and Central America because they know President Biden will welcome them with open arms. You see, Democrats have a zero-tolerance policy against enforcing America's immigration laws, so it's going to be back to business as usual. Learn it, love it, live it, I guess. Get used to it.
2021 marks the 35th anniversary of the American Eagle coin program, and these historic gold coins will never be the same again. Why?
The U.S. Mint has unveiled a new design for the 2021 American Gold Eagle coins.
This means now is your last chance to get an American Gold Eagle coin with the original Eagle design.
The American Eagle coin series has become the best-selling coin series in the world.
Act fast or miss your opportunity to own the last year of this historic Gold Eagle coin design.
Just call govmint.com at 1-800-979-7267 and you're guaranteed a shiny new, perfect mint condition American Gold Eagle coin.
Get them now before time runs out.
Call 1-800-979-7267 now, and you'll receive your very own 2021 Gold Eagle Guide, free just for calling.
This exclusive offer is only available by phone. Call 1-800-979-7267 now to secure your American Gold Eagle coins before this historic...
Remember being in your favorite sport clips, getting set for that great MVP haircut experience? Yeah, how about if we made that wait even shorter? Now, with Sport Clips On Deck text alerts, when you check in online or with our app, we'll text you a 15-minute heads up when it's time to head in. And when you're the next man up, you'll get another text to come take your seat. Less wait time, more prime time. Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy.
The Dale Jackson Show, weekday mornings only on WVNN.
Welcome back to Boomer and the Beard. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful bearded host. So thankful you choose to join us here each and every morning. We don't know what we would do without you guys. And just make sure you're checking out boomerandbeard.com. That's Boomer and Beard. Spell out the word "and" to get access to all of our content, upcoming events, Twitter, Facebox, all of those things are right there where you can get them. And the most important thing you can do for us right now is to jump on the podcast and make sure you're subscribing, rating, reviewing the podcast. That would be a huge help to what? What are you laughing at there?
Why'd you take your jacket off?
Because I'm hot.
I think it's because he looked like me.
No, shut up.
I walked in with plaid on, and he's like, "I'm taking."
I said
I've
got to take my jacket off before he ever got here.
I'm not gonna look like him.
Madison Alternative Medicine is a proud sponsor of Boomer and the Beard. Listen, I have I have a lot of issues. I've had like 14 major surgeries. I've got a lot of pain, joint pain, arthritis, all those things, and I went over there and got the. Yeah, no, I'm 33, but went over there and got the you got.
It's gonna be a rough life.
What's it called? Inflammation injection. I got the inflammation IV, and it was a game changer for me.
Really?
So oh, dude, it's unbelievable. They do all kinds of. That's right, no longer inflamed. But no, they do IV therapy. They have all kinds of treatments for joint pain, neuropathy, chronic arthritis, you name it. Just give them a call today, 256-325-0955. They're on Slaughter Road there in Madison. That's Alternative Medicine Associates of Madison. So be sure to check them out today. I don't like the way you're looking at me, Boomer.
I'm just enjoying watching this. I heard this the last time on the radio.
Oh, you heard about
I heard it.
I
heard it. Now I get to watch it unfold. I'm excited.
Yeah, well, the circus comes to town every now and again.
I'm a little curious about this alternative medicine. I mean, I'm really, that's like we really need more of that.
Oh, it's
right?
so what's really unique about it is I went and sat down with him, and Dr. Gilliam is and he very much believes what we believe and sees the world the way that we do, if that makes sense, and without putting him on the spot, and so it was really neat to listen to his view of the way the medicine system is set up in a lot of ways. Like I just had a heart cath, I guess, but they did it not a cath. What's the
scan?
Yes. Sorry, cath is a procedure, but it's typically something they go inside and they make sure there's no blockages. Well, Decatur, actually, of all places, the hospital there has this machine that does it. They took like 3,000 images of my heart in like a matter of time, like no time, and it's not covered under insurance unless you already have a heart problem.
Right.
So I had to pay completely out of pocket, and the whole concept of the way the medicine system is
called
set
the
up.
calcium score.
Sure, and I know it was called $650 is what I know it was called, and the whole.
Oh, you had the full blown
yes.
3D image of your heart, yeah.
Yeah, and so, but again, it's set up in such a way that it only is covered by insurance if you need it and your life is threatened.
You've had an event,
right? Whereas if everybody could get that covered by their insurance, we'd have far less heart attacks in this country.
Well. Just wait.
I was like, wait a minute. I had to think about that for a minute.
Yeah.
It's coming.
I don't know if Blue Cross considers that a reimbursable event, though.
To submit a claim. I'm a conservative radio show host.
Right.
And
my life is threatened.
Yeah. But no, this Dr. Gilliam, I mean, he just it's really neat when a business it's born from need, right? And so he had some issues that he couldn't solve, and this particular treatment was something that made him better. And so he went into it, and they do all kinds of IV therapies and vitamin C IVs and literally. And this is not. I mean, I used the stuff before they were a sponsor, and I took that inflammation IV during. I still played a little softball, and I felt great. My knee has grayed through arthritis. They told me I needed knee replacement, and I'm 33. Yeah. And so when I took that IV, it was like, man, it was a game changer for me. So definitely a very interesting, and there's nobody like them. That's the thing. Like there's not a ton of it. Like you said, it's kind of one of those things where it operates in this weird space.
Small space,
right. It's like alternative medicine. What is that? Are you even a doctor?
Well, when
acupuncture.
I hear that, so I came up. I've spent my entire life in healthcare, and actually for a better part of a decade did cardiac imaging, which is what the 3D model of the heart. But I'm always intrigued by people that try to get outside the box, because a lot of times the box it hampers healthcare almost, right? Because it's like, well, this doesn't fit the textbook. Well, there's a reason that they call it practicing medicine, right?
Sure.
Because they are practicing on every single person. You've got to have a physician that is willing to think outside the box, because while we're all very similar, we're also very different. Every single one of us. You probably Well, I'm not gonna say it. Tom definitely drinks more than I do.
Well, look at the body mass, dude. I got 2-1.
Yeah. So yes, to answer the question, I
am a small fellow.
I used to be pretty. I used to be pretty wide open on the old drinking spectrum, and
I don't drink any less either.
the wheels are coming off, and we've been at this for 8 minutes.
I'm pretty sure there wasn't any wheels on when it came in.
No,
You're just sliding in.
I lost a wheel coming in.
Sparks and sliding.
I look forward to this every time. I spent a lot.
I would have loved to have had them here talking about the cellmate. That would have been probably like the best radio that's ever been on.
I'm terrified to even. I'm terrified to even bring that up.
Why do we even have to bring that up?
Oh, because that's what I leaned over. Yeah,
Hey.
Sandy Lou at Master Control, making sure that things move along smoothly.
According to legal paperwork, she has to stay over there. We have to stay over here.
Yes, exactly.
That's right. COVID only is a threat in that studio, not in this
here.
one.
Oh,
That's right.
my gosh.
No, Sandy, I had to bring it up.
Hour and a half, is that it? We're doomed? Isn't that where we're going?
Yeah, we're going there.
Man.
We're going there.
Yeah.
I guess.
You could really just stay here and do the whole show from here, because like we're doing it now. I mean, if you wanted to, but that's up to you. But it is.
We may do that.
It's crazy how it works, isn't it? But no, it is definitely.
COVID's worse on the north side of 72. So be careful.
And apparently it's like.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like after 5 p.m., COVID gets worse too, right?
Yes, it does.
It's
yeah.
like, you got to shut down. You can't operate after 5. It's
And
like,
apparently,
Actually, it's 8 o'clock.
Open container of alcohol brings it in. It kind of draws it in. That's right.
Yeah.
Kind of like one of those candles that draws mosquitoes.
This is Boomer and the Beard, where we've got Tom Fredericks, Ed Henry, and the whole team here. It is 16 minutes to the top of the hour. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
Steve?
Sorry. I have sleep apnea and my machine isn't set up.
It's the third time this week you've napped at your desk. I use AeroCare. It was set up the very next day.
I've been waiting a week for someone to call.
AeroCare's amazing, and now I sleep like a baby, just not at work.
AeroCare specializes in all respiratory equipment. If you have sleep apnea or in need of oxygen, let AeroCare set you up. Call 256-469-3900. Let us help you breathe a little easier.
Are you tired? You suffer from chronic fatigue, neuropathy, or joint pain? Call Madison Integrative Medicine. Our amazing staff will provide an individualized patient experience focused on your overall health to treat the cause, not just the problem. Utilizing both traditional and natural medicine. Don't let the symptoms become overwhelming. Treat them preventatively with Madison Integrative Medicine on Slaughter Road in Madison. Call 256-325-0955. That's 325-0955.
If your computer stopped working, your business will grind to a standstill. This is Zach Walker, your big, beautiful bearded host. For my friends over at Simple Helix, the cost of a full-time IT department is really just unreasonable. Call Simple Helix today at 256-975-4758. They never take a vacation and cost far less than a full-time employee or staff. This new normal we live in has us working from home and remoting in all the time, so 24-hour support is more important than ever. Reliable and safe access for you and your employees doesn't get more simple than Simple Helix. 256-975-4758. That's 975-4758. Tell them the Beard sent you.
For up-to-the-minute news, log on to WVNN.com. Depend on it.
Welcome back to Boomer and the Beard. I am Zach Walker, the big, beautiful bearded host. So thankful you choose to join us here each and every morning. We're 13 minutes to the top of the hour. You've got us carrying you all the way to 8 o'clock, and then the legendary Will Hampson will step in and take you the rest of the way. Dale Jackson is on vacation today. Joining me in the studio, Tom Fredericks, Ed Henry. We've got Boomer. We've got Sandee. We've got producer Connor. We've got a full house, and there's a reason. As you well know, this country is under attack, and our freedoms are, and no, for those of you out there, oh, he's a conspiracy. Hey, man, he's a censored. Amen. And are being silenced, and there's a time for joking, and we love plenty of that on this show, and we try to be as unserious, well, that's not a word, but you know what I'm saying, we try to not be so serious all the time, but there is a time for patriots to step up and make their voices heard, and the time for that is now. So Saturday, and we're going to be talking about this for the next hour, and what precipitated it. And Tom was in Washington for when the Capitol was stormed. He may or may not have been in Pelosi's office. I'm kidding. That's not true, FBI, if you're listening. But
he does have one of those hats, but he doesn't wear them in public.
Yeah, he's got the horned hat, the Davy Crockett bison hat.
I mean, look at him. That was Tom. That was Tom.
I want to see the
Would you paint your
tattoos.
I don't know. You get all up in my hair.
Yeah, know all about getting it in my hair. Let me tell you.
It fell off his head onto his back.
So
yeah.
On Saturday, we're going to have a free speech or free the speech rally.
Fix that hat.
Free
I can't
the
look at you.
speech.
Free the speech.
It's
We've gone from
call me LeBron James.
the silent majority to the silenced majority.
Oh,
Good,
look at that is
good.
a tweetable quote there.
I'm telling you.
But no,
if anybody was still on Twitter,
ooh, but
I'm done.
For the day or just
No,
with Twitter?
just Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Tweeter.
So I
Them
think
tweeters.
I think I have I think I've tweeted like twice in my life. At Bearded Host WVNN, if you want to see an inactive Twitter account, there it is.
There you go.
But on Saturday at 2 p.m. at Fredericks Outdoors.
I tweeted like in 2012 in my office.
Tweeted.
No more twit for me.
Ain't putting up with
I
that
tweet
tweet.
Bird by some twits too.
That's a bunch of bull twit.
Nice.
Has anyone ever tried to walk cats on a leash?
Oh my God.
That's how
That's
I
what
feel
this show's
right
gonna be.
now.
That's what I am loving this because I'm back and I know exactly where to drop little.
Yeah, no, he's
love
loving
it.
watching me twit around. You know what
I
I'm saying?
have never. This is funny. I've never seen him more uncomfortable.
I know. It's
You just never know with these two.
He turns it up and he's like, okay, I got to be serious because I can't.
No, well, I just have to be on my game
Yeah.
to know when. I've just got to make sure I can get to a mute button quick enough. That's all I'm worried about.
I am worried that there's not a delay.
Yeah.
We need a delay.
Yeah, that's.
We really need a delay.
If we had a delay and a dump button, I'd be as comfortable as all get out.
Right.
But
I can.
Well, I have
I
one.
can try to like match the buttons like really fast, like.
We can do like fake dumps where somebody just does some elevator music for 10 seconds.
I have one question for you guys, and this is me.
and maybe at some point I'll actually get to finish the announcement about the free the speech
Well,
rally.
that's what
Go
I was
ahead.
know, but
Go
that's
ahead.
what I was no, but the free the
Yeah,
speech, I was
exactly.
I was trying to
Come
rein
on.
it back in.
Yeah,
a bit.
go
Okay,
ahead.
so
Rein
you're going to have this rally, but I'm one that I've always been involved politically. I've always voted in every election I've ever had. I've always been conservative, but I'm kind of in this same situation to where now it's turned from the marketing side where they have kind of got it to where we have somehow been marketed into the crazy lunatic idiots.
Right.
So with a free the speech rally and doing that, how do we go and do that, still have the same oomph to really get fired up, but somehow balance that where they don't think we're crazy?
So I think what's coming, Saturday, what we're hoping to have is a gathering, right? And not a we're going to go burn something down or we're going to destroy or we're going to do any of that stuff. but a gathering, right? A show of force that there are people out there that are sick and tired and fed up with the status quo, and they are capable of coming together peaceably and discussing and hearing from people that are fighting for them and what we can do to move forward,
Yeah.
right? Because, look, whether we tweet or we don't tweet, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, they are shutting us down. Our communication, our ability to get to the masses are getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And I don't know that the day is not coming where a radio show like this that sits and talks about standing up and fighting against the system isn't going to be regulated, because you you get your permission to be on the air from a federal entity, right? The FCC says you can or cannot say or do what you just did, and they do not like who we are. They want us to shut up.
I have been telling Zach that,
Well, hold on.
and
No,
Zach
hold
just
on
does
a
not
minute.
believe me.
Hold on a minute. Okay, so
yeah.
let me clarify this. What Boomer and I, our position is, that's coming, but we think radio will be the hardest for them to.
Oh, absolutely.
That's bingo.
Yeah.
So it's
So there's a lot of
absolutely
money
they're going to
involved
come.
in conservative
They're
talk.
going to come after it, and we've never said that they're not going to come after it. What our position is that that's going to be the hardest for them to corrupt, because that is the. I mean, most conservative talk radio is our last. It's the Alamo,
I don't think
if
it
you
will
will.
be hard.
Does that make sense?
I don't think it'll be that hard. I mean,
Thank you.
But from the Facebook stuff, and this is
who owns your channel, right?
Right.
That's
Sure.
where it's going
That's
to
where
come
it's gonna
from.
hit.
It's not going to come from the federal government shutting you down. It's going to be who owns this space, and they are going to say, we do not want you on our air because of pressure that they are going to receive from the federal government that you will never see.
Correct.
It's a shadow entity.
Correct.
And it's coming.
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean,
but the one thing
Preach
that
it, brother.
Zach and I were talking about, the money situation is going to be the true issue. Like, I honestly, Tom on Facebook or you on Facebook, you're not the ones that are like doing selfies and doing TikTok and stuff like that. So you can squash that. I don't know if it's hurting their pocketbook as much as, like, say, it would be for.
But where does money come from? Money comes from
the
government.
The government,
yeah.
Right? The government decides what is value and gives you that money. So to think that, your whatever entity owns whatever airspace is concerned about the money, it doesn't really work that way. The government has the power to decide who wins and who loses, and the money is just kind of this. It's almost arbitrary in the entire arrangement.
But let's look at it for instance, okay? The story you sent me a story about Cumulus coming out and this attack. So to clarify that wasn't entirely that article wasn't represented entirely accurately. It was not. It was an individual, not a Cumulus.
No.
Do what?
There was a suppression of free speech coming down from the
Right, but it was from an individual, not from the corporate of Cumulus, and so it was more of a single person saying something that, because I talked to Dale about it. Dale got the email. I mean, it was one of those things I got some clarification on. Now, was it foolish? Absolutely, but you see very quickly how Cumulus starts to walk that back a little bit, because I can tell you for a fact the money matters, and so I think, not that, again, we all think they're coming after us. There's no doubt about that. But there is so much money in conservative radio that if they were to, if that went away tomorrow, you wouldn't have a radio syndicate. You wouldn't have a radio group, a radio company that could stay in business, because conservative radio makes up some astronomical percentage of all talk radio. And so could they do it? Absolutely. But they're going to, you would essentially get rid, find me a liberal talk radio show. There's very few of them.
Right, but if they shut it down, like if they clamp down, if they move to that point, and look, they want to.
Yes.
Right, they want to, and yes, I hope and I pray that they can't, because we don't have a lot of mediums out here where we can communicate with each other, right? But if they do, where do we go? How do we communicate? And if you show up,
yes,
It is. It truly is.
I'm so thankful for that.
Y'all can't see me. I've grown a beard, so
you look regal, Ed. Let's go to the phone lines 866-494-9866. Let's go to Jack on line 1. Jack on line 1, what do you got for me?
Hey, howdy, sir. I know I got a short period of time, but is it time to pull your money out of the bank before there's a run on the bank? I'm saying there's going to be a run on the banks.
Okay.
I'm going to hang up and listen.
All right. I would say that that's a hard one for me.
I wouldn't say so yet.
Yeah, I would not be quite all the way there.
I could run to my bank, but there wouldn't be really
the problem
much to
is,
run to.
Yeah, there you go. Buy some gold and bury it in your backyard.
I used to encourage people to invest in guns and ammunition.
Yes.
They are both a requirement. Don't just buy a gun. You need ammunition.
And if you're out there trying to use some odd caliber 6.5 Creedmoor 300, you need 9mm. You need 223 or 5.56, and you need 308 or 7.62. Those are all the NATO rounds. Okay, I don't own a weapon that isn't one of those three calibers, and why? Well, because weapons are tools, right? They're to be used to defend ourselves from any threats and from tyranny. And if there's a run on ammo, you will always have access to NATO supply on the black market.
Right.
So my recommendation to everyone is if you're going to stock up on ammunition of any caliber, you need to stay within those NATO calibers.
You young buck, you completely dismiss 45 ACP.
Yeah, because it's not a NATO caliber. No, it's because I don't. Well, it's because I can actually hit the target I'm aiming for.
I know that it's.
Oh, I have one. I love them.
I mean, I know it's not a Glock, but dude, the tradition.
I hate Glocks, but.
You think I'm ever going to get any money out of the Beanie Babies thing?
No.
So I've got a story, man. I've got a story on that, by the way.
Yeah. Well,
that's what we're investing in.
Put my money in banks, tractors, guns, Beanie Babies.
A mint Princess Diana Beanie Baby.
Yeah, right.
So we actually.
I'm just throwing a curveball in there. I just kind of.
I love it.
Pampered Chef and Beanie Baby. That connection is a bit of a stretch, but I like it. We actually have.
I was just trying to prolong it so we didn't get to that other caller.
That's right. And the awkwardness in the break.
This is Boomer and the Beard. This has been our Monday morning show. We're not going anywhere. You got another hour for us if you can put up with us. We're not going anywhere. Ed Henry, Tom Fredericks stays with us. The rest of the team goes on about their day. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
WVNN Athens, WVNN FM Trinity, a Cumulus station. It's 7 o'clock. News starts now.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Unprecedented security ahead of Wednesday's inauguration of Joe Biden, with the FBI vetting all 25,000 National Guard troops protecting the Capitol. D.C. National Guard Major General William Walker.
There's a credentialing process, so they're screened and then they're repeatedly screened until they are actually put on the street. And even then, we could pull somebody off.
ABC's Aaron Katursky's in Washington with more.
The FBI declined to discuss details of the process, but we're told it's similar to a standard background check. National Guards would likely already be aware of any guardsman who's been associated with or expressed support for extremism, but the undertaking reflects the security concerns associated with the inauguration following the insurrection at the Capitol and highlights the fear that some here to protect could pose a threat.
Among those arrested over the weekend for taking part in the Capitol riots, the founder of the group Cowboys for Trump. He was picked up in New Mexico. Vice President-elect Kamala Harris will resign from the Senate today as Joe Biden prepares for his first day in office. What could we expect? ABC News political director Mary Alice Parks.
As soon as he can get into the Oval Office, I think you can imagine him signing on the dotted line where he can reverse and rejoin the Paris Climate Accord. He wants to reverse President Trump's so-called Muslim ban. He's talked a lot about wanting to inspire a national plan of everyone wearing masks. I think that gets to a larger vision he has for the federal government, kind of reasserting itself across the country.
400,000 coronavirus deaths so far in the U.S. The country expected to hit 500,000 by mid-February, and it seems there aren't enough shots to go around.
This morning, as hospitals struggle with a surge of COVID patients, they're also struggling with the chaotic vaccine rollout. Mass vaccination sites are popping up from Hard Rock Stadium to Citi Field, even Disneyland. But with a crippled rollout plan, appointments are now overbooked.
ABC's Mona Kosar-Abdi. You're listening to ABC News.
2021 marks the 35th anniversary of the American Eagle coin program, and these historic silver coins will never be the same again. Why?
The U.S. Mint has unveiled new designs for the 2021 American Silver Eagle coins, scheduled to appear mid-year.
This means now is your last chance to get an American Silver Eagle coin with the original Eagle design.
The American Eagle coin series has become the best-selling coin series in the world.
Act fast or miss your opportunity to own the last year of this historic Silver Eagle coin design.
Just call govmint.com at 1-800-495-6468 and you're guaranteed a shiny, new, perfect mint condition American Eagle silver dollar.
Get them now before time runs out.
Call 1-800-495-6468 now, and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, free with every order.
This exclusive offer is only available by phone. Call 1-800-495-6468 now to secure your American Eagle silver dollar coins before the current design ceases production. That's 1-800-495-6468.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo now demanding that Russia immediately release opposition leader Alexei Navalny. Navalny arrested just after returning to Russia after recovering from being poisoned with a nerve agent. ABC senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell.
Journalists live streaming as Alexei Navalny gives his wife Yulia a final kiss and farewell before police take him away, holding him on all charges international observers say are fabricated. Navalny finally flying home to continue his work, saying he won't be forced into exile after being poisoned in August.
Questions surrounding the last-minute move to install Michael Ellis as the new general counsel at the NSA. ABC's Louis Martinez says critics are calling it a move to install a Trump loyalist in what's normally a career civil service post.
He was involved in the Ukrainian situation that led to the impeachment, the first impeachment of President Trump. He was accused of having classified the transcript of that phone call, raising it to a higher classification level so that it couldn't be accessed. He's also been accused of sharing intelligence with his former boss, Representative Devin Nunes.
12 Chinese miners missing after an explosion in a gold mine are alive. They sent up a note through a rescue shaft. However, they say water is flowing in and they are running out of air. No word on the fate of the 10 other miners who were also trapped by the blast. This is ABC News.
With the new president, so much is happening in Washington. Now, millions are turning to Newsmax TV, your trusted news source. They're going online to Newsmax.com for breaking news and downloading the free Newsmax app on their smartphones. Newsmax TV is on all major cable systems. If you don't get Newsmax, call your cable operator or watch it free on Roku, YouTube, Apple TV, Xumo, Pluto, and smart TVs like Samsung and LG. Newsmax is real news for real people. Start watching today.
Sherry Preston, ABC News.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune into Your Retirement Matters with Chartered Financial Consultant Chris Wallace of WG Financial Group. Saturdays at 7, 8:30 and noon, and Sunday mornings at 7, 8, and 9 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Start your retirement planning this weekend. Join Chris Wallace of WG Financial Group every Saturday at 7, 8:30 and noon, and Sunday morning at 7, 8, and 9 for Your Retirement Matters. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my good friend Matt Curtis and the Matt Curtis Real Estate Team. Are you absolutely done with 2020 like I am? You probably are. You're ready to get a fresh new start in 2021, so grab 2021 by the keys. That's right. It's time for you to look at that space you're living and get to a better space for you. Matt Curtis and the Matt Curtis Real Estate Team, they're ready to help you do just that. Thousands of folks in North Alabama are ready to change their space right now. Put Matt Curtis and the Matt Curtis Curtis Real Estate team to work for you. They've got $1 million marketing budget ready to help you sell your home. They have a team that structures every single detail to make sure it is handled properly and by a dedicated expert focused on you. It's the Matt Curtis Real Estate team. Call them today. Get your new year started right by talking to my good friends over there at the Matt Curtis Real Estate team. MattCurtisRealEstate.com or call them today, 256-333-MOVE. Call Matt Curtis today and grab 2021 by a new set of keys.
What's floating in the air in your home or business? Don't breathe in that polluted air when you can call the Duct Doctor. They're the experts in cleaning your air ducts and dryer vents because that's all they do. Duct cleaning. Armed with the most powerful air duct cleaning vacuum in the industry, they'll get rid of the nasty dust, dander, allergens, and bacterial growth that's in your airways. Protect your family and business. Call the Duct Doctor for a free estimate. 256-929-6500 and online at ductdrhuntsville.com.
Alabama license certification number 1987211.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my friends over there at Gigaparts. I love these guys, and John and the folks over there at Gigaparts have taken great care of me, and they will do the same for you. If you have any technology needs, any computer needs, the solution can be found at Gigaparts. I was having some issues with an old computer I had. I was doing a lot of video editing, and I talked to them about that, and they showed me everything I needed to get the job done, and it worked like an absolute charm. Now I can do everything I need to do far quicker than I was doing before, and that's just what this is about. You come to them with your problems, they give you the solutions. It is your technology superstore. That is what Gigaparts is all about, and they are the experts. Whether it's for your personal computing, your small business, or your large corporation, Gigaparts is there for you. They've got refurbished computers, new computers, and everything under the sun. Go learn more about them at gigaparts.com. Check them out at their great location right there on University Drive in Huntsville, just past Providence. And when you do go see my friends at Gigaparts, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
WVNN. Depend on it. It's live, it's local, it's the Dale Jackson Show, and it's only on News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. Depend on it.
Gotta save the nation. Gotta save the nation. Gotta save the nation. Here is Dale Jackson.
Welcome into the Dale Jackson Show. I obviously am not Dale Jackson. I'm Zach Walker, the big, beautiful, bearded host of Boomer and the Beard, right here every single morning from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. I'll be keeping you guys wide awake until 8 o'clock, at which time the legendary Will Hampson will take over and carry you to the finish line. Joining me this morning in studio here in the Chick-fil-A studios are Ed Henry, Tom Fredericks. We've got producer Connor, and then the legendary Will Hampson over at Master Control. Will Hampson, how are you, buddy?
Doing great. How about you guys?
Man, we're better now that you're with us. I know that.
Although I did like the last intro we had better than that one. I'm just saying.
What was the last intro?
The Cult of Personality.
Oh, well, unfortunately, I don't have control of the music during this
Yeah.
particular. This is no longer my show, so we're stuck with the same old crotchety music.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little stale, but what do you expect?
I'm just saying. Now, I'm trying to wake up, and Cult of Personality.
Well, that's why you should listen to our
had much
show.
more
Yeah.
energy.
Oh,
much more energy.
And it's not just that. We play. I mean, you never know what we're going to play.
Right.
I mean, we'll play anything.
Good stuff.
We're crazy. We're doing this morning. One, because Dale is enjoying his Martin Luther King Day, but two, because conservative voices are under attack in this country. We have continually, we've watched, if you listen to the Walter Cronkites of the world, if you were old enough to be alive during an era where the news people just read the news. I remember a time where a friend of mine went to journalism school a long time ago, and he talked about how, and I've said this many times, so if you've heard this, I apologize, but it would have been an ugly mark, a bad mark against a journalist for you to even know what political party they affiliated with. And now all journalism is so party affiliated, so agenda driven that it's impossible to separate out news from agenda, from propaganda,
from opinion.
Yeah, well, and propaganda. I mean, and I know people are like, that's a very extreme word. I mean, we're not in China. Well, we're pretty freaking close. And we're headed that direction at a high rate of speed. And so this weekend, I was fortunate enough to beg my way in. Apparently, that's what's required for me to be involved. But once I was able to do that, we are now going to be they're going to be having. I'm going to be joining the Free the Speech rally this upcoming weekend. And so the main the main goal, what we're going to talk about this morning is really what necessitates that. What creates the need for that? Because rallies and gatherings and assemblies, peaceful assemblies, are something that in this country we have a right to do, and that we oftentimes I think forget about or choose not to. And quite frankly, what's happened over the last 9 months has really devalued what that looks like, because if you're not burning down a city, you're not very effective.
It's not a real protest, apparently.
That's
if
right.
You're not burning something down.
If there's not a threat to somebody's life, then it's not even it's not even real. But did a building even burn?
But and then you get to the point where this whole Capitol riot, right? They're like, raising Cain over this Capitol riot.
Bunch of middle-aged 50-year-olds pushing baby strollers. It was wild.
I know.
Trump was right. It was wild.
Selfies. And that's a riot, and we need to use facial recognition to arrest every single individual that went through and do this national campaign against them, while cities burned throughout the summer and were captured and detained, and individuals, public officials.
Let's use the word occupied.
Occupied,
Yeah.
very good.
The biggest problem.
And not a single person was arrested.
The biggest problem at the conservative rallies is spilling your coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's wild.
Or rushing the Capitol. But no, I'm kidding. But no, you're exactly right. And so the difference in what the left looks like and the right looks like at a quote rally is black and white. It's no race intended there.
No.
All you crazy people out there, don't email me. I'll ignore you, and then I'll make fun of you on the radio. But it is
contrasted. There is a contrast.
Yes. I forgot we got to use certain pronouns.
Right.
A man and a woman. But it is. We have reached what I would call critical mass in this country. A time where we, as a people, I mean, look, 74 million people, 73 million people voted for Donald Trump in this election. Now, some would have you believe that 80-something voted for the other side. We would probably disagree with you on that. There may have been that many votes cast, but I did see they're calling in the Ghostbusters to the inauguration, just in case all those dead people that voted get a little crazy.
Show up.
Just in case they get a little out of control.
The troops can't handle them.
No, but so what we're going to do on Saturday at 2 p.m. at Fredericks Outdoor, Bethel Road in Priceville, is we're going to gather as Americans that love this country and love the rights that were given to us by our Creator and not by a government. Thus, they cannot be taken away by a government. And we're going to celebrate those rights. We're going to hear from some people that are currently locked in the fight of their lives. The fight, and I say that not to be dramatic, but to illustrate how serious this is. Mo Brooks will be headlining, keynoting.
We got Barry Moore. District 2, man. He's brand new to the scene, U.S. House of Representatives.
And actually, he has this claim to fame. We were on the stage with him, but he was the first elected official in the United States to endorse Donald Trump back in the day.
You drug me off that stage, said, don't you take that microphone, Tom. But
866-494-9866, the Bullet and Barrel shot line, if you want to jump in here and chime in. 866-494-9866. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we'll dive into the details. We'll tell you more about what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, who's going to be there. And our hope is that you will make time to join us and fight for our right to free speech. This is the Dale Jackson Show, and we will be right back.
With some lousy
You need to change your music. You got to fight for your right to party.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my good friends over there at Maccabee Medical, a durable equipment company. They're here to help you and your loved ones with home medical equipment that can improve their life and yours. Locally owned and operated, they know exactly what you're going through and they know exactly what you're looking for. Whether it's a lift chair, hospital bed, oxygen equipment, mobility equipment, or any of the other things that will make life so much better for your loved ones and yourself. Maccabee Medical is even the exclusive dealer in North Alabama of the Upwalker. Mobility equipment is a big deal for the folks over there at Maccabee Medical because it's a big deal for you. From the moment you call them, from the moment you walk through their doors, they are ready to help you with the medical equipment you need to make your life better. They're available 24/7. Check them out online at MaccabeeMedical.com or visit them at their great location, 6th Avenue in Decatur and Governor's Drive in Huntsville. Go check them out today, MaccabeeMedical.com, and when you talk to them, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
Weather report sponsored by Indeed.com.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my good friend Stan McDonald and the folks over there at Jacob Title. You have now found the perfect property for you and your family. Your realtor has helped you through every step of the way. You found financing as well, and now it is time to put pen to paper. Real estate transactions, however, are very complicated. There are tons of laws and rules, unique problems that are going to be created, and issues that you are not going to expect. You need somebody that understands this. You need Stan McDonald and the folks over there at Jacob Title. Jacob Title is North Alabama's premier choice to handle everything from first-time home buying to acquisitions by seasoned investors. So remember, the world of buying and selling real estate is a confusing maze of paperwork and complications. Do not get lost. Find someone to help you through this process. Stan McDonald and Jacob Title. Their main goal is to help you through this home buying process as easily as you possibly can. Check them out online at jacobtitle.com today, and when you do, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
The University of North Alabama is honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. today. I'm Way 31 News anchor Marie Waxel. Here's a look at your morning headlines. UNA's annual Remembrance March will take place at 11 o'clock this morning. It will begin on the Commons front entrance steps and end at the atrium with lunch, live music, and information on ways to give back. University officials say coronavirus protocols will be in place during the event. We have a complete list of day of service events here in North Alabama and all across our region. Just head to our website, waytv.com, and our Way 31 News app to see that list of what's happening in our community. Well, Alabama is officially in Phase 1B of vaccine allocation. This phase includes vaccinating more first responders as well as anyone over the age of 75. And a North Alabama teacher is under investigation after an alleged incident between her and her students. 7th grade math teacher Ashton McCluskey is on administrative leave after the incident. That's according to the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Office.
If you're hiring, you need Indeed. Indeed delivers quality candidates so you can focus on interviewing people with the right skills. Receive a $75 sponsored job credit when you upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Here's your weather update from the Way 31 Storm Tracker Weather Center on News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
A seasonal start to the work week for North Alabama. Expect highs in the low 50s Monday afternoon with mostly sunny skies. A little bit of a breeze from out of the west with some gusts up to 20 miles per hour. And then we have a chance for a few showers into your Tuesday. Heavier rain arrives by Wednesday night into Thursday. From the Way 31 Storm Tracker Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Rob Elvington.
It's switching season, that time of year when you say goodbye to slow, expensive internet and hello to super fast internet from WOW. Now starting at just $29.99 a month. It's the most wonderful deal of the year from the most wonderful provider in town. But hurry, switching season ends soon. Get super fast internet with no contracts for just $29.99 per month. And find out how you can get a $200 Visa card at Wowway.com. Wow. Limited to new customers with auto pay and paperless billing. Restrictions and terms apply. Offer subject to change. Contact WOW for full details.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my good friends at Next Step Family Law. They're ready to help you with your child custody and divorce issues in dealing with parents and grandparents that may be aging. There's a lot going on in the world right now, and you need people on your side who can fight for you to represent your interest in these tough situations. Next Step Family Law, they can help you. Kobe Boswell, Christina Sexton, they are amazing lawyers that will work together to help mothers, fathers, children, and grandparents take that next step in resolving these family law issues. Their experience says it all. They'll fight for you, but they're also experts in domestic mediation. They can make sure that the pain is not made worse. That's the key here. Getting this resolved, getting it taken care of. Upfront, honest, and responsive. Next Step Family Law. Check them out online at nextstepfamilylaw.com. Remember, no representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers. Again, check them out online at nextstepfamilylaw.com. And when you do, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. Depend on it.
Welcome back to the Dale Jackson Show. I am not Dale Jackson. I'm Zach Walker, the big, beautiful, bearded host of Boomer and the Beard, right here every morning, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. Your favorite, the best, the smartest talk show and morning radio. Be sure to go to boomerandbeard.com. That's Boomer and Beard. Spell out the word and. That way you can interact with us in various ways. You got the YouTube channel. You got the social media accounts. You got the podcast. If you like the show, which let's be honest, why wouldn't you? Make sure to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast, as we are. That's one way to really help us know our audience. So that would be ideal. And also, you get the entire show archived to send directly to your phone with no commercials. So what's better than that? Everybody hates commercials. Unfortunately, it's how we pay for the show. So we got to have them here on the radio, but on the podcast, you can listen to it straight through. So be sure to do that if you haven't yet. I've got the three-ring circus in town, the three rings being myself, Ed Henry, and Tom Fredericks, and it is always like walking cats on leashes while we do this, but it's always a blast, and we're excited to have them in the studio. We've been talking about the Free the Speech rally, and as many of you probably know, conservative speech is under attack in this country. Big tech has it out to silence each and every conservative voice that exists, and we want to hear from you this segment. It's 866-494-9866. That's the Bullet and Barrel shot line, 866-494-9866. We want to hear from you. Let's go to John on line 2. John on line 2, what do you got for us?
Yes, Zach, there's a quote that we studied back when I was in about the 6th grade from Voltaire, a French philosopher, and he said, "I do not agree with what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it." And we as kids recognize that's kind of the essence of free speech. If you close down the opposition, you put in to place mechanisms to close down your own free speech.
You know, the silent
and it's
majority.
been exercised, of course, in China and other places. But I just wanted to,
well, we were the silent majority when we didn't really want to say anything until they told us we couldn't. Now we're the silenced majority, and we're getting loud.
Thanks for the call, John.
You're going to get louder.
Well, and that's the thing, and this is what I don't think. This is what I don't think the left has wrapped their mind around yet. And maybe it's because it's not how their party works, and so they've not. Look, if we're being honest, they've not encountered much resistance from the conservative side of things in their time.
Well, we don't make a habit of rioting and tearing and destroying. I mean, even watching the CNN garbage on TV, I don't even know why it's in front of me, but they've got warning graphic content. It's people literally walking around inside the Capitol taking selfies, and the police officers are like, "Hey, buddy, come on down."
I think they're saying, "Hey, your mask goes over your nose, buddy."
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, let me get one more picture, and then I'll go." Right? This is not graphic. It is not the destruction of democracy that they want to make it out to be. But they are using this as a weapon against anybody that resist their tyranny.
Kyle Rittenhouse videos, no graphic warning. Cities burning to the ground, no graphic warning. Death and destruction, no graphic warning. Conservatives in the Capitol building, graphic warning. It is a very.
I like to watch graphic warning videos.
Well, but it's not even graphic, though.
Like cats.
It's such a
I
disappointment.
feel let down, man.
It's
Where's
such
the
a
graphic
disappointment.
video?
It's like, that's not graphic.
They oversold it.
They oversold it, and they're overselling. But the problem is they, being the media and the left, they control probably 75% of the communication that we have between big tech and big government and big media. I mean, we're a small piece, and that's one of the whole positions Saturday is we need to get together. We need people to come out and stand up and say we're tired, we're fed up, we're done. And if you're out there listening and you've ever had any idea of running for office, political office, it's time to get involved. We're frustrated what's going on in Washington, but we've got a lot of lackluster leaders in Montgomery, right? At the local level, we've got a lot of people that call themselves Republicans so they can get elected, but they aren't saying a word about what's going on right now.
I'll vote for you, Ed.
I'm not running.
I'll vote for you.
I've been down that road.
You'll vote for me. I'll vote for you.
If there
that's
are
called,
people
that's called
out
collusion.
There, if there are people out there that are listening, that are interested, or you know somebody, show up to this event. Seek me out. I will tell you whether or not the person that supposedly represents you is willing to stand up and fight for you. And if they are not, we will figure out how to replace them. I am done. I am tired of people calling themselves Republicans and hiding in the shadows when these kinds of things pop up because they don't want to be recognized. They don't want to be attacked. Well, we elect you to be on our front line, and they hide. I'm done.
When I interviewed Mo Brooks for the very first time, my first conversation with him when I first got in talk radio some 6 months ago, he made a statement that, and now mind you, this is my first, I wasn't a very politically involved individual prior to this. This is a very cool moment for me. I'm talking to someone who I looked up to, a great congressman, a great patriot, a great American. He's a believer. I mean, he's just he checks a lot of boxes. And he made a comment that I said something along the lines of, this is truly a battle between good and evil. And he reiterated that point and said very plainly, like, you've got to, if you believe that to be true, you've got to come off the sidelines and get in the game, because conservatives are not willing. When this, I think, Tom came on the show when one morning that I was hosting for Dale before the year was out, and I said the Republican, the conservative people do not have the stomach for the fight that's coming. And that is an observation of history being applied to the future. And what I think they've missed the boat on is there's 74 million Americans, 73, whatever number you want to go with, million Americans who voted for Donald Trump, who are happy to allow a free and fair election to take place. And if a president was chosen in opposition to their beliefs with a free and fair election, historically speaking, it's not the whole, not my president. When Barack Obama was elected, not once but twice, we all said, okay, I mean, we don't like it. I served in the military.
We'll figure out the system.
I served in the military under Barack Obama. Did I love it? No, but he was my president. He was free and fair elected. That's what the country chose. But what's happened is we're being rough talked, and we're being told how this is going to go. And what you're seeing is a bunch of people who have said, I think I've been pushed far enough. The number one conversation I hear on this radio show is so how far is too far? When is it time? When do we pick up our arms? Or when do we raise a fuss? When do we, well, folks, we're not saying we're at the point of raising up an army or picking up our arms. I would never advocate for that. But it is, I mean, Thomas Jefferson did say the blood of, or the tree of liberty must be from time to time refreshed by the blood of tyrants and patriots alike. And so he thought it would be every 200 years. For the record,
so we've done
pretty well. The experiment has gone better than expected.
But we're nearing that point, and so we do need to gather. We need to gather. So Saturday, 2 to 4, show up. Fredericks Outdoor on Bethel Road
in Priceville.
Get with us. I don't know that we're going to tell you anything that is totally enlightening, but we need you. We need people to stand up and show that we are fed up. And if you are, get off your butt and show up.
Well, and the unity in that, the numbers, the just being with like-minded people is always refreshing and encouraging. And folks, this is not going to be an easy fight. It's not. I mean, it's the next 4 years we're going to have to go toe to toe. And so finding folks that are like-minded to encourage you, to be alongside you, to fight with you. We're going to empower you to do that, and you're going to hear a great word from some great people, and we're looking forward to that. We'll have a little bit more information about that when we come back. This is the Dale Jackson Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly.
You're listening to the Dale Jackson Show. This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. News starts now.
Because of the deadly siege on Capitol Hill earlier this month, all 25,000 National Guard troops who are protecting Washington are being thoroughly vetted as the city gets ready for the inauguration on Wednesday.
The nation's capital near lockdown. Barricades sealing off huge sections of the city, security checkpoints scattered throughout, and armed National Guard troops surrounding the Capitol building.
ABC News Chief Liberal Affairs anchor Martha Raddatz. There were protests at some state capitals over the weekend. Many of the people there were armed, but there wasn't any violence. President Trump expected to give himself a red carpet send-off from Washington when he leaves Wednesday, requesting a military band and a 21-gun salute before he leaves for Florida without attending the inauguration. The Senate impeachment trial of Donald Trump could get underway as early as Wednesday or Thursday of this week because he spoke at the same rally as President Trump on January 6th, right before the mob overtook the Capitol. Rudy Giuliani says he is now considered a witness, can't be part of the legal team. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
WVNN.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my friends at Air Serv Heating and Air Conditioning. Now look, I can tell you this right now, no question about it. If you have a problem with your AC or your heat, Air Serv is the place to go. You head online to airserv.com, AIRESERV.com, and they can help you out with that. But I'm here to tell you about a whole lot more than that. I'm talking about Total Home Solutions. Cleaner, fresher, healthier air. That's what it's really all about, especially in times like these. Think about all those germs and infectious agents, chemical gases and odors, particulates and allergens. Oh, did I mention germs and infectious agents? Yes. If you have the right heating and air conditioning with the right filtration system, it does a lot to remove these things from your air inside your house, making it cleaner, fresher, healthier air. Learn more about all of this by doing what I did. Head on over to airserv.com, AIRESERV.com. That's airserv.com. Check them out today. When you do, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth and...
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, growing apart, and feeling more like roommates than loving partners, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire is the only FDA-approved sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. There is no mask or hose and no need to sleep in separate rooms. If you are struggling with CPAP, great sleep awaits at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
Attention men, have you ever been embarrassed when the time was right, but you just couldn't perform? Now you can. Have the pills failed you? There's hope. The secret is a visit to the Huntsville Men's Clinic. That's right. Men from 21 to 85 are performing better than before, often regardless of age or medical condition. Their urologists and providers are using treatments that can help you perform for 30 minutes to an hour and a half of full male performance, all without surgery. Your total cost for the doctor's visit, all tests, including a PSA and testosterone test, is only $99. Give them a call, even if the pills haven't worked for you, or you have heart problems or prostate issues. If you have erectile dysfunction or just want to perform much better, call now. 256-368-0333. That's 256-368-0333. Get your confidence back. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 256-368-0333. Or go to HuntsvilleMen'sClinic.com.
Hey, folks, Dale Jackson here for my good friends over there at Mr. Appliance. Now, look, you've got appliances in your home that you have spent a lot of money on. But isn't it weird that when our appliances break, we just run off to the big box store, we buy another appliance, we pay someone to bring it there, we pay someone else to install it, and then we pay someone else to haul our old appliance away? Well, do you know what they do with that old appliance? They fix it. That's right. Somebody fixes it, and they probably resell it. But what if I told you you could have someone come out to your house and fix your appliance at your house so you didn't have to do all of that stuff? What if I told you that Mr. Appliance has been doing that for years and can help you out with that? I had a problem with my refrigerator. Thought I had to buy a new refrigerator. Not the case. Mr. Appliance sent out a qualified individual to take a look at my refrigerator and fix it. Save Cindy and I hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Mr. Appliance can do that for you for all the appliances in your house. Learn more about him at MrAppliance.com. Schedule an appointment at MrAppliance.com. And when you go see my friends at MrAppliance.com, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
Welcome back to the Dale Jackson Show. I am Zach Walker, the big, beautiful, bearded host of Boomer and the Beard every single morning right here, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. on your best, the favorite, the smartest show in morning radio. We are here with Ed Henry, Tom Fredericks, producer Connor, and the legendary Will Hampson. We've been talking about a rally, I guess that's what you'd call it, a free the speech rally, a get-together.
And concert. Let's get that in.
Yeah, so let's talk about the event
itself. We will
entertain.
There will be plenty of entertainment.
This was cool, y'all. We didn't have a lot of time. This was brainchilded, I think, Friday, and with about a week to put it together.
Maybe Thursday night.
And
late.
Of course, with any good outdoor gathering, you've got to have live music. And we were fortunate that Mr. Marty Rabin, lead singer of the band Shenandoah, a lot of number one hits back in the 80s, 90s. Anybody, mine and Ed's age knows who Marty Rabin is.
Old folk.
Well,
come
good
on now.
Quality.
Who doesn't
Salt
know
to the
Shenandoah?
earth. Salt to the earth, old folks like me and Ed. Marty Rabin's going to be singing for us. He's our headliner. Jedi Band out of Huntsville will be opening. It's going to be a lot of fun. And in those
is that Lisa?
Yeah, Lisa Williams.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. Phil and Lisa Williams.
Yeah.
Good, solid, former state representative.
Yeah.
Good people.
So we used to kid Phil that he was the third smartest person in his house behind his wife and his child, because they are some of the finest people I've ever known, and she can play some music.
Yep, it's going to be a good time.
And the church on Cumberland Road is one of the most underrated country songs of all times, for the record.
You Google that.
No, I didn't. I Googled Marty Rabin, but that is one of my favorite songs. It's on my playlist. I can show you. I grew up listening to 90s country was my jam and still is my jam.
Yeah.
So that was back when country music was still country.
Yeah.
Before you had Florida Georgia Line and all these idiots trying to play country music.
Threw up in his mouth.
Black.
No,
I'm
it's
gonna wipe off this microphone.
It's garbage music. There's no doubt about that. We've got some phone calls coming in. 866-494-9866 on the Bullet and Barrel Shot line. Andrew on line 4. What do you got for us, Andrew?
Hey, this is Andrew Sorrell. Ed, said you were having me on this morning about free speech.
Are we in trouble?
Oh, crap, Andrew. I forgot to tell him to call you. I forgot to tell him to call you.
Hey, no problem, Ed. I figured that's what happened, so I went ahead and called in.
I don't know if you've seen the banter, but
we were suppressing your speech.
We have lost total control here today. But yes. So, Andrew Sorrell.
you act like that's a surprise.
From Northwest Alabama, probably one of the, not probably, he is seriously the most conservative state representative in the state house right now. He's like one of the few guys that will stand up and fight for your rights. So, Andrew, thank you for being with us. I wish you could be there Saturday. I know you're out of town or out of state. Are you even out of the country right now?
I'm out of the country, Ed. I sure am. And by the way, that's a real compliment coming from you, so I appreciate that.
It does speak volumes, doesn't it?
Well, it's true. You stand up, you speak your mind, and you stand strong in the face of and the people out there listening, they're starting to get an idea. There is a machine, a system, I called it the beast when I was there, of special interests that are constantly pushing, and we don't have enough people willing to stand up and say stop. And you've been that guy in the State House for the last 2 years now.
Yep.
And I hope.
Well,
you'll
Ed,
continue.
I plan to. I got the 2020 Conservative Policy Warrior Award from the Alabama Policy Institute this year, and I really, of course, appreciated the award. It was a huge honor, but I was thinking, all I did was vote against taxes, vote against borrowing money, and vote against big spending bills. That's all I did. That's really not worthy of an award, in my opinion. But nonetheless,
but you were the only guy that did that.
It shouldn't be worthy of an award with a Republican-controlled executive branch and legislative branch and judicial branch. You're right.
Yeah, but in Alabama we use the term Republican loosely.
Very loosely, especially here in Madison County.
Amen.
Yeah, we've got, man, I don't want to get you. Andrew, we're going to give you some time, then I'll beat up on the Madison County GOP.
Woo!
What do you think about where we are today on the entire, basically shutdown of free speech? What are you seeing?
Well, we've got to find a way to rein in big tech. I mean, these companies have gotten far too big, far too powerful. The arrogance that a company could literally shut down the President of the United States. If you think back 4 or 5 years, Twitter was dying. There was nothing left of Twitter. And Donald Trump single-handedly revived Twitter. That's the only time I started paying attention to Twitter is what did Trump tweet today? That became kind of the leading news story of the day. So I think in a lot of ways he saved Twitter, and now he's being punished by Twitter. And it's, it's so scary to me because I have a state rep friend in South Carolina, and they just shut him down too. And I follow his posts. He's not posting anything excessively inflammatory, and I'm afraid it's going to happen to all of us.
I think it is.
Yeah, it's coming. It is coming, and if you don't see the writing on the wall, then you're blind. We've got to start working much closer locally. The word of mouth is going to be a bigger deal. Radio, like we were talking today. This is probably going to be our only medium for a time that we can get out and say what we want to say. But it is easily controlled. I mean, we're broadcasting over, airspace that is controlled by the FCC, and if they don't like what we're saying, they can shut this down. So I'm worried about our ability to continue to communicate in the next, I don't know, year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. I don't know where our country is going to be. And do you have any ideas about what we do?
Well, it's really scary to me because if you look back at my campaign was very expensive. It cost me $230,000 to get elected to the state legislative seat. Now, most of them are nowhere near that expensive, but I had the unfortunate scenario of a tough primary and a tough general. Most of the time in Alabama, it's just a tough primary. But nonetheless, I spent $30,000 just on Facebook ads. And looking back, it pains me to see $30,000 of my conservative Republicans' donors' money going to an organization like Facebook. But what are you to do? I mean, that's where the people are. That's where you have to do the advertising. I am really, really hoping that for my 2022 campaign, I can give some, if not all, of my advertising dollars to a different social media platform because I want to quit. You talked about the Montgomery beast, the special interest. I want to stop feeding the big tech beast with Republican donor money. But I can only do that if the Republicans have moved to a different social media platform. Because at the end of the day, I still have to get my message out. And if all the Republicans in my circles are still on Facebook, guess where I have to spend my advertising dollars?
Yeah, I mean, it's real. It's like this event Saturday that we're having. There's really not a viable – nobody reads newspapers anymore. There's a few people that listen to the radio, and we need them to really get some word of mouth. But then the only other alternative we have is the devil, right, Facebook, to try and get the word out. And we've got to get away from that. I mean, it is imperative that we leave Facebook, we leave Twitter, we go to the MeWes, the Gabs, the Parlors, if they can ever get back up. I mean, and how give me some of your thoughts on Amazon being able to do what it was Amazon, the servers, they shut down Parlor.
So Amazon has, their AWS service, and I mean, every company in the world uses the Amazon service. Our own company uses the Amazon service, and I'm wondering, boy, is Amazon's next step going to be just punish people who their business is, of course, nothing even related to politics, yet, they find out that a conservative Republican owns the business. Are they going to try to punish them? But there may be a solution to the Amazon problem. I don't want to get too deep in the weeds here, but I'm a big believer in cryptocurrencies. Really fascinated by decentralized currencies like Bitcoin and decentralized computer networks, basically a giant decentralized computer system, supercomputer, like Ethereum, that can run applications on it. And I think that you are going to see applications develop that are decentralized, like Ethereum, that are capable of doing some of the things that Amazon and other big tech companies do. And I think that's going to be a major revolution in this country and really all over the world, because there's no way for the government to shut it down because it doesn't exist in a centralized location. It runs on millions of computers all over the world. The only way to shut it down would be to shut down the internet.
Right, and so you still have a problem with that, though. This is Zach Walker, the host of the morning show here. We talked about this on my show. The issue then becomes, sure, if you can, I mean, all you have to do is get your own servers. I mean, there's a couple ways around that, but then companies like Cisco, I mean, there are, all that has to happen then is for them to unpublish your DNS, and it doesn't matter, right? And so there's a greater issue out there that I mean, there are very few fixes for that, and that's what scares me is we have created over the last 6, 8, 10 years a system where, hands off, no big deal, Patriot Act this, Patriot Act that, whatever. And now all of a sudden we are that system that we were laissez-faire about, just didn't care about, is now coming back and attacking us. And there really is no way out. Sure, you can supercompute this, you can server that, but at the end of the day, the internet is the gateway. Right. And as long as those companies exist where all they have to do is unpublish your DNS, then all of a sudden it doesn't matter anymore.
Well, but even the internet is in the same boat that the radio airways are, right?
Sure.
It's built on the back of a government. The United States government controls the backbone of the internet, and so I'm worried about that. I personally, I don't know that I would invest in cryptocurrency because they could so easily shut us down here. I've got a very good friend that I spoke to, and he's not ready in his business to pitch it yet, but he has some ideas on how we communicate outside of the normal mechanisms, and it's some very high-tech stuff and some very low-tech stuff.
I was thinking smoke signals, but then you got that 8M burn ban.
It's dang near. I mean, we're kind of going backwards, right, with our technology because it worked, right? Smoke signals worked as long as the wind button blows.
And there's no burn ban on. They'll shut you down.
That's true. That's true.
Hey, you put that fire out, son.
They're probably going to shut you down for more of what you're saying than the burn, though. I think that's what's coming. Andrew, we're running out of time here. Thank you for jumping in. Wish you could be with us Saturday. And just, again, thank you for what you do and for what you've done and what you will continue to do.
That's Representative Sorrell joining us. Thank you again for that. This is the Dale Jackson Show. We've got one more segment left, 12 minutes to the top of the hour, and we will be right back.
It's the Dale Jackson Show. News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
The University of North Alabama is honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. today. I'm Way 31 News anchor Marie Waxel. Here's a look at your morning headlines. UNA's annual Remembrance March will take place at 11 o'clock this morning. It will begin on the Commons front entrance steps and end at the atrium with lunch, live music, and information on ways to give back. University officials say coronavirus protocols will be in place during the event. We have a complete list of day of service events here in North Alabama and all across our region. Just head our website, waytv.com, and our Way 31 News app to see that list of what's happening in our community. Well, Alabama is officially in Phase 1B of vaccine allocation. This phase includes vaccinating more first responders as well as anyone over the age of 75. And a North Alabama teacher is under investigation after an alleged incident between her and her students. 7th grade math teacher Ashton McCluskey is on administrative leave after the incident. That's according to the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Office.
Here's your weather update from the Way 31 Storm Tracker Weather Center on News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
Seasonable and mostly sunny for Martin Luther King Jr. Day Monday for North Alabama. Expect highs in the low 50s with just some westerly winds up to about 20 miles per hour. We do have a chance for a few showers throughout the day Tuesday, but the heavier rain holds off until Wednesday night into Thursday this work week. From the Way 31 Storm Tracker Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Rob Elvington.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my good friends over there at Aqua Systems. Hey, listen, I love these guys. They came out to my house, gave me an absolutely free test of my water system, and guess what I learned? I learned what was inside my water that was causing it to taste different, smell different, and actually feel different. Once they show you all the stuff they take out and they leave behind that beautiful, wonderful H2O, you will be absolutely amazed at how different it actually is. It's quite eye-opening, actually. And they come out, they test this for you, they show you everything, and things are just different. And one of the great things about Aqua System is they're not going to pressure you. Here's what they do. They come out, and they show you what they can do, and then they leave. They don't work on commission, and that's why they're able to provide great water to you at a way, way, way more affordable price. It's quite amazing. You've got to see it. Go to iwantgreatwater.com. That's iwantgreatwater.com. I wanted great water. I got great water with Aqua Systems, so go check them out today. iwantgreatwater.com, and when you do, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth and...
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, growing apart, and feeling more like roommates than loving partners, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire is the only FDA-approved sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. There is no mask or hose and no need to sleep in separate rooms. If you are struggling with CPAP, great sleep awaits at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
Have you seen what's happening with the stock market? Record highs every day. How long can this possibly go on for? By the way, this is exactly what happened right before the 2000 dot-com bubbles burst. Remember that? Protect your savings in retirement by putting them into something safe like real gold and silver. I'm not talking about gold or silver stocks, but into real gold and silver you can actually hold in your hands. How do you get real gold and silver? By calling the Oxford Gold Group today at 833-600-GOLD. Now, the Oxford Gold Group will teach you everything you need to know about owning real gold and silver. It's so much easier than you think. So call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-600-GOLD to get your free gold and silver investment guide. The Oxford Gold Group is the only gold and silver company that I trust, and you should too. Get the Oxford Gold Investment Guide today and learn how easy it is to have real gold and silver delivered to your home, or how to have real gold and silver in your retirement account. Call the Oxford Gold Group today at 833-600-GOLD. That's 833-600-GOLD.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my good friend Matt Curtis and the Matt Curtis Real Estate Team. Are you absolutely done with 2020 like I am? You probably are. You're ready to get a fresh new start in 2021, so grab 2021 by the keys. That's right. It's time for you to look at that space you're living and get to a better space for you. Matt Curtis and the Matt Curtis Real Estate Team, they're ready to help you do just that. Thousands of folks in North Alabama are ready to change their space right now. Put Matt Curtis and the Matt Curtis Real Estate Team to work for you. They've got $1 million marketing budget ready to help you sell your home. They have a team that structures every single detail to make sure it is handled properly and by a dedicated expert focused on you. It's the Matt Curtis Real Estate Team. Call them today. Get your new year started right by talking to my good friends over there at the Matt Curtis Real Estate Team. MattCurtisRealEstate.com or call them today. 256-333-MOVE. Call Matt Curtis today and grab 2021 by a new set of keys.
News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN, and we're always online on WVNN.com.
Welcome back to the Dale Jackson Show. I am Zach Walker, the big, beautiful bearded host, hometown heartbeat, Boomer in the Beard, right here every morning 5 to 7. Filling in for Dale this morning on Martin Luther King Day. Got with me in the studio the Barnum and Bailey three-ring circus, as we are affectionately referred to. Myself, Ed Henry, Tom Fredericks. We've got producer Connor. We've got the legendary Will Hampson. So thankful you've joined us this morning. We've been talking about the Free the Speech rally upcoming this Saturday. Conservative voices are being silenced, are being censored, are being hushed all over. We've got the ex-security officer of Facebook coming out and saying that, in his opinion, all conservative voices should be deplatformed. None of them to appear on Fox News. None of them to appear on anything that could make its way inside of your home via television. All needs to be cut off to conservatives. Thus, we would only be left to the YouTubes, which they've got a complete control and have already started their program of silencing. And so we are very lighthearted. We have a lot of fun on the show. We do a ton of non-political stuff, but there are times when, my dad used to tell me, son, there's times to do what you want to do, and there's times you got to do what you got to do.
Amen.
And now it's time to do what we have to do.
Gotta do.
That's right. And so on Saturday at 2 o'clock at Fredericks Outdoors on Bethel Road in Priceville, we will be having a Free the Speech rally. You're going to hear from me. You're going to hear from Ed. You're going to hear from Tom. You're going to hear from Mo Brooks. Probably, the one that we're going to go and all see. That's why I'm going, is to hear from Mo. Fortunate to be able to give you a few words myself. Marty Rabin be singing, providing the musical entertainment from the hit group of the 90s, Shenandoah, one of my favorites from back when my early, what would I have been?
Diapers.
No.
You're probably in diapers till you were 5.
No, in 2000, I was 14. So, 1999, I was 13.
That's a little late to be in diapers.
The late 90s, I was.
You shouldn't have been in diapers.
Not at 14.
I got out of them when I was 6, okay? So, but no, we're going to have a good time. We're working through some logistics, but it looks like we're going to be live streaming some of this for you guys, so you'll be able to, even if you can't join us in person, it costs nothing to be there.
Absolutely. Free your voice.
We need people.
So that's where we were headed with this, right? If you believe in this country, if you believe in your unalienable rights that were given to you by the Creator that cannot be taken away from you by the government, we need your help. And so volunteers, you can reach out to us here at the show.
Let's run it for you.
Reach out to us via Facebook. You can email us info@thehometownheartbeat.com. Or you can reach out on Facebook. Fredericks Outdoors, you could get that.
For now, you can reach out on Facebook.
As long as
I'm telling you, this is.
I know.
We're going to be shut down. The more we talk about, I'm surprised this event hadn't been shut down.
A few people have gotten silenced.
Really?
Yeah,
on trying to share it.
There's a screenshot under the event on the comments of one lady who got suspended from Facebook until 5 p.m. on the night of the event or the day of the event.
Because she was sharing this event.
Yes.
See, it's coming, and they are after us. Whatever their algorithm is, they are. And it's probably because of you, Tom. You're a little more.
It might be because of me.
But come out, guys. Give us some support. Let's all get together. There's going to be a few things. I'm still working on trying to get you guys some information on a mechanism that we're going to have to communicate outside of Facebook and outside of even the internet. We've still got radio, thank goodness, but at some point,
for now.
At some point, as the pressure comes, the powers that be will shut this mechanism down as well, and we have to be prepared. We've got to start sticking together, getting to know one another, because when we're all standing on the front line, I want to know who I'm standing with, and we need you. I can't say it enough. We need you to wake up, get out, and come to this event. That's it. I don't know how to say it any louder, any clearer.
That was pretty loud, pretty clear.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun too. Hey, on top of that, we're going to have a good time.
We will have a blast.
It is always a good time when you gather with like-minded people in pursuit of a common goal, and ultimately, you hear a lot of tinfoil hat and this and that. I mean, is there a part of this that is far? And here's what they've done, right? They've made people like us sound crazy, right? Well, they're coming after our speech. Oh, take your tinfoil hat off, you crazy! Like it's not. If you have any sense whatsoever, if you've paid attention at all, we're speaking in truth. I mean, this is not a what if. This is not an outlier scenario.
You
this
left out. Take off your hat and shut up.
Yeah, no, that's. I mean, and that's the thing, right? Is it that they're not afraid of conservatives. They're afraid of an informed people.
That's right.
They are afraid of educated people capable of making their own decisions without the influence of their propaganda machine. And look, they won the election because the media figured out the strategy. The media figured out how to play ball in a way that we've never seen it before.
Never.
And they executed it to perfection. The question is going to be, are we going to allow them to do it again?
This
and I'm
is
afraid
the
we
Dale
will.
Jackson Show.
WVNN Athens, WVNN FM Trinity, a Cumulus station. It's 8 o'clock. News starts now.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Inauguration Day is always a big deal in Washington, but this year it's an even bigger deal than normal because of the security all over the nation's capital. ABC's Alex Stone is there.
Efforts are underway right now to make sure there will not be a threat from the inside. 25,000 National Guard members from all over the country are arriving here, and the FBI has to make sure none is a threat. Secretary of the Army Ryan McCarthy.
We're continually going through